Good evening and salutations, my soap opera fans. Eric declares war on Ridge, on Bold and Beautiful, and I'm here for it. I am here for it. Now, for the members, I may actually have, for the members, I do have one video I'm going to put out tonight. I have an idea for another video. Actually, I may have two ideas for another video that I may be working on this week. So as my friend James always says, stay tuned. But yes, I am here for it. Eric is coming at Ridge with all the smoke, and I could not be happier. Oh my goodness! If you saw the preview, my dude is like, he better bring his A game or something. He was like, he better bring his A game or whatever, because I'm coming after him. And I am here for it. I am here for it. Who's your money? Who you got money on? Eric or Ridge? Melly Mel's here, my heart queen. LaShanta's in the chat, what's good? And Janetta's in the chat. Makai's in the chat. Mel, I expect nothing less. We, as always, we're going to sit here and talk about all the soaps. GH, YNR, B&B, and Days. You know, I wasn't too sure. I wasn't too sure. It was, it was weird. I was surprised, but I wasn't surprised. I was surprised, but I wasn't surprised. Everyone in the chat, and you might actually said this too, Lashanta, that they were just going to find nothing but coffee beans. Queen of the South is in the chat. How's my queen doing tonight? I'm doing great. I'm doing great. So, tonight, it's going to be a two-parter. Now, this depends if DC is still coming through. So, the first hour, you're going to get me. Second hour, if everything goes well, you're going to get me and you're going to get DC. So, let me sit there and make sure that, what the? Oh, this phone. Excuse me. I kind of almost don't want to read it. Excuse me. Of course. Oh, no, I wasn't talking about you. Um, I'm doing great. Of course, I got to sit there and ask how the queen's doing. Got to ask how the queen is doing. Now, let me tell you. It's just so annoying. I can't tell. Let me know in the chat if everything is working right, because can't tell. All right, let me know in the chat if everything. I don't know. New York is going through a thunderstorm tonight, so if it's a little spotty, I think I don't need this right now. There may be a good hot chance that maybe a good chance that at some point tonight I may actually have to get out and get back in. Alicia's in the chat. Was good. Alicia, let me ask you a question. Do you have Instagram? Let me know if you have Instagram, Alicia. Then you say have, or just would like to ask you a question if you get. No, I got the email. I was wondering what it was. Like, was it something you want to ask me? Like, did you want to type it out? You can ask me now if you want. Kyrie's is in the chat, the one and only. LaShanta says to Eric and Rich, I don't like it because it's miscommunication and brother versus brother. We already have that on Y and R. Yes, and you're right. It is simple miscommunication. But I don't know. It's the way that Eric was so fired up. He was like, he better bring his A game because I'm coming after him. And I'm like, I am here for it. You don't understand. I'm here for it. Quite quick, yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yes, Alicia, let me know if you have Instagram. If you're on any social medias. I'm very curious about that. I 'Cause I'm not. I'm gonna try to be surprised on days. So I'm trying to be surprised on days. Oh, okay. Too bad. Remember, at one point you were sitting there trying to describe how you looked. So I was like, all right, let me sit there and try to hit you up on social media and see what you look like. And Rihanna's in the chat. What is good? Last day. Last day. I know that you didn't start work today, but when you do, please let me know. And Kyrie says Sabrina is a cringe couple. Cringe couple. Lasanta said Takamas got mad at Ashley because she want to work it out with Jack and he's tired. No Instagram. Damn it. All right, if you listen, if you ever do, I'll definitely love to follow you on a social media or whatever. Um, I don't know. I guess email. I have to do that. Well, if you have email, let me know. Well, you obviously have email. So Darby's in the chat. What's good, my friend? Ariana says a super good day. I am happy to hear that. Now, as you are coming in, make sure that you do hit the like button. It really does help. So as you're coming in, let's start this thing off right. My day was good. My day was good. Lashanta said, Albert, what did Spencer get in get in trouble for or why? Oh, he got in trouble because he got a little bit too lax. Listen. I understood that. I understood that. Spencer was like, "Hey, there's enough food for all of us." I was like, "Oh no, you did not." I was like, "Oh, how did you know? How did you know? I know you. Oh, four. Yeah, because he Trina feels that they're getting too close. She feels that Spencer and Esme are getting a little bit too close, which I understand. I'm glad that they talked it out. Um, Danny says, kind of disappointed. Disappointed about what? I remember you asking me a question. And Trish is in the chat. How are you doing tonight, my darling? Police said, not really a social media check. No, I got you. And it's not. I ain't mad at you at all. Trust me. Social media sometimes can be um, not a good thing. So, but I know you got email. So if you want to hit me up on email, if you want to, I know you are a very busy lady. But Danny, what are you disappointed by? Lashanti says, who's Charlotte and Jake? Oh, who's. I didn't. Jay Blue's in the chat. Freddie's in the chat. Mikai's in the chat. Mel says, I called about Nick and Cher. You did. You did. Yes, you did, my lady. You certainly did. I'll say I will let you know. Sounds good. I'm looking forward to it. Lashanti says Nikki hates Nate. Yeah, sure. Yo, that woman. No, ooh, that woman. Mm-mm. Ida's in the chat. How you doing tonight? You know, Kyrie, if you're still in the chat, I gotta ask you a question, Kyrie. Kyrie says, "See, I hate Spencer and Trina as a couple, but how dare he try to offer Esme that food if my date offered my enemy my food? And like, hell no, there's friendship." I love it. So Kyrie, I saw it. Okay, so Kyrie, I saw the scene with Nick and Sally when Nick says something slick, and Sally had to sit there and correct him. Like, did you just say it was karma that would happen that him losing a child? What are your thoughts on that, Kyries? Darby says Sonny has always been beating charges for decades. So no surprise that he would do it. That's true. Sancho said Jordan looked good. Yeah, she always brings an A game. Perry says I hate Nate and I hate Nikki and I hate Victoria and I hate Nick. Oh, Nate and Nick. Alicia says Spencer and Esme will be the next couple. Alyssa's in the chat. How you doing tonight? Spider Quick says, and you blame Esme looking at Spencer. Oh, nice. Oh, I still gotta watch the first one. I still gotta watch the first one. There are some people that's so pissed off about that movie. They said, "Yep, that's what the hell Nick meant. He ain't slick. Sally should dump Nick right then and there." You know, it's really funny. I feel like if she didn't. Here's the thing, though, Kyrie. If she didn't like Nick, or if she didn't actually have anything invested in Nick as far as that company, like the type of look that she had, I was like, "Yo." Spike Quick said Trina should have slapped. Now Trish says, "Wow, Kyrie says anybody good on YNR." Alyssa said GH was mild today. Ariana says Diana's fantastic in bringing her A game every time Sonny keeps her close by. Yeah, but you know the thing is though, is she didn't really have to do anything, Ariana. That was the thing. All she had to do was wake up early in the morning, sit down for like 20 minutes, and then that was it. Really, that's it. Harry says Adam's the only Young and Restless character I like. You don't like any other characters on the show? Alyssa, I didn't like the dialogue between Spencer and Trina. And Spider-Quake, I was being Spider-Quake at this point. Freddie says, well, even though I'm not a Sprinter fan, I'm happy for the Sprinter fans because according to the spoilers, they're going to have the first love scene by... Oh, okay, so they're finally going to do it. Sancho says Billy getting ready to medal. Of course she is. She can't help herself. Micaiah said Tracy is the best on YNR. Tracy is the best on YNR. Jay Blue says I was screaming at the TV. Trina fix. Wait, I forgot. Yeah, I was gonna sit there and say it was like Ariana says, "Oh, Albert, there's so much more to it than that, and naturally, Sonny will be great." Okay, I have to take your word for it. Jay Blue says I was screaming at the TV. Trina fix your face when she entered the apartment. Well, that is always her color. Let's just happens while Stasia today's episode. I mean, I haven't watched today's episode yet. Oh no, I know what you meant. It was good. Last they said Trina couldn't do anything because her boss Josh wasn't there to tell her what to do. Okay. You know, damn it, last day. I wish you were a member. So I'm putting out a new video tonight. I'm putting out a new video tonight. It's going to be a Trina focused video. But I'm not gonna sit there and say what it is. It's a Trina focused video. Um that says I thought when Nick made that cold hearted comment to Sally about him, Darby said, "Did you notice that when Adam knocked Sally door after?" Yeah, I saw that. That was kind of odd. I'm glad, Darby. I'm so glad you know that. And oh my God, thank you, Kyrie. Kyrie says had to correct this properly. Love my Elena. So we got two characters. I'm not gonna lie, Kyrie. So I felt like there was a character that was missing. There was a character that was missing. Oh, let me ask you a question though, Kyrie. Whenever I talk about a character, okay, who would you get? What situation would you be mad at more, Kyrie's? If I talk bad about Adam or if I talk bad about Elena? If I had to sit there and talk bad about one person, and it had to be between Elena and Adam, who would you pick? This says Sonny actually looked surprised that he got off. Yeah, I think that's what made me kind of surprised. Listen, I cringed when Carly and Liz propped up Esme. Uh, well, she wasn't. She was with a toddler. She was with a toddler. You know, and maybe in a little bit she kind of saw herself um in Esme. But yes, Kyrie, if you had if what would you get madder at more? If I talked about Elena or if I talked about Adam? I think I know the answer to that, but I want to sit there and see what you're going to say. Last day says Albertrina, definitely not my favorite character. Hopefully, after more money from work. That'd be what's up. That'd be awesome. Oh no, trust me, last day. Well, okay. What last day? Who do you not like more? Josh or Trina? Most of I can see that Sally's getting jealous about the sparks. Yep, I saw it too. Kyrie says if you talk bad about Adam, I might be a slight bit more defensive. The only reason I defend Blaine so fiercely outside of the fact that she's fine is because I don't like Nate. And the goddess is in the chat. Was good. Was good, Jesse Jess. Alyssa, I don't care, Albert. I would have given Esme smoke if I was Carly. Okay. Darby says, do we have to hate Esme even from the normal good things she does? I mean, she gets in trouble for the things she doesn't do, like Adam or YNR. Trish says Elena and Tracy give very little airplay. But definitely Tracy and Elena. Trish says, yeah. I feel like Tracy gets less airtime than even Elena. And Duan is in the chat. What's good, Duan? Alicia says Carly and Esme have a lot in common. Yeah, like I said, I felt like she didn't give her a lot of smoke because of the baby. You know, I'm like, it's not. You don't curse somebody out in front of their child. Like it's certain lines you don't cross. Um, Duan is in the chat. Just said GH was okay today because she was with a toddler. That's why. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like it's one thing if she's by herself, then it's like, all right, fine. You don't like her, whatever. But you know, Carly as a mother, you know what I'm saying? Like she knows there's certain lines that she wouldn't cross. Ariana said, I'm not liking Portia on GH. Yes. Yeah, join the club. I'm with you. Wow. Okay. I'm all right. Anyway, LaShanta said Tucker and Audra gonna plot. Just says Spencer was definitely doing the most. It was a little extra. Yeah, and I agree with that. You know, they worked it out. Kyrie says if this was real life, Adam and the rest of them would have cut connection with each other a long time ago. Yeah, and I'm glad that they worked it out. Ron is in the chat. Yeah, no, I saw that, Ron. I saw it. I was there for it. I was there for it. Carrie says, what the hell? Carrie says, I swear someone needs to find Adam. Long lost. Oh, he actually has siblings? Jay Blue says, I agree that Carly was being tolerable of asking because she was with Ace. Yeah, it's like I said, there's certain things you don't do, you know? Ariana says she's becoming the villain. Oh, that's funny. But yes, Jake, in certain lines you just don't cross. You know, certain lines you don't cross. You don't sit there and do all that in front of a child. You just don't. God damn it, this thing is moving so fast. Okay. Trish says Adam has cut from the from several times because, but somehow he's always come back to Victor. Brings him back. Blackmon's in the chat. Was good, Blackmon? The amazing, gorgeous Queen Janet is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Blackmon is in the chat. I said what's up to you. Ron says I couldn't stomach to watch Chad and Stephen today. Well, Chad actually wasn't on the episode today, so but so sometimes Chad and Stephanie are boring together. Ruby says, how about maternal relatives for Adam to see during Christmas events? Just says Violet needs to stay in the child's place. She was she was doing too much. And hi to you too, Crystal. Crystal says Spencer was so far out of pocket. What made him think Trina wants to break bread with woman who tried to kill? I get you. Um, Not wrong about that. Dolly's in the chat. Was good, Dolly? Okay. All right. Exactly, Kyrie. She knew the score. Carly knew the score. Curry says I was reading some of Adam's old crimes through. So he was a trip back in the day, but Nick still was way out of line for what he said. He should have been knocked out. How are you doing, my friend? So we got 40 people so far. I have no idea how many likes we have. So if you are enjoying the stream, make sure you hit the like button. It really does help. Let's see. Alyssa, so that means Xander will end things with Chloe and Chloe leaves town. I guess so. It's so weird though. Just says, I'm glad Sonny Rest was a setup. But you know, the thing is just, it's like when he heard the news, he was surprised. He was genuinely surprised. Yeah, Violet always gets some great scenes. You know, she always kills it with the lines. Darby says, how about they are both alone and hated by nearly everyone without fail and without reason. I mean, here's my whole thing. Like, I get, like, even, you know, because here's the thing. Carly and Jocelyn, you know, all the stuff, you know, the stuff that she did to Jocelyn, I understood that. But like I said, I think from mother to mother, she knew there was certain, she knew there was a line just not to cross. We said not liking Spencer and Trina, and Juan says Christy Alley may have lost her job. Sergio was saying if you check out her on via she already scheduled. Ooh, ooh. Now Jess says when I have time this weekend, I'll start watching Days. Oh, we're gonna have. All right. I'm looking forward towards that, Jess. I'm gonna give you a week. I'm definitely looking forward towards that. It's gonna be a lot of fun to sit there and talk to you about Days. Jess. Oh my God! Thank you, Kyrie. Kyrie says Sonny arrest being a setup. Don't excuse Dex incompetence though, Jess. Dex shouldn't. Dex should be fired whenever Jocelyn is unhappy. I'm happy. Whenever Jocelyn is unhappy, I am happy. I just, I just want to read that again. No, but that's what's up though, Jess. And again, thank you, Kyrie. Thank you so much. Uh, well, yeah, no, yeah, I knew that. Well, I know Rex doesn't usually stay on the show that long, so Lashansa says a whole Maggie fights Vivian. Yo, I am loving Vivian. I am loving Vivian. Okay. Um, Jackie P's in the chat. What's good, Jackie P? Just said he effed up. I'm glad it had nothing to do with it. Ron says Phoenix said that if anyone's concerned about Sarah, she is not going to die, and she. Oh, that's great. They're getting back together. Just says I forgot Molly and TJ. Freddie said WTF was the point of Michael being at the court. He wasn't even there to support Sonny. He just focused on the evidence against his dad, and Michael needs to go somewhere with them. Tight suits. Oh damn. Let's say yeah, Xander. I'm glad as always for. Lisa judge should have dismissed it without prejudice. Then he said, talked about my channel. No, I don't understand. But what about your channel? He said, talk about my channel. What about your channel? What that your channel's back or something? Is that it? Oh, okay. All right. Spikequake says, I like Carly today. Oh, you like Carly today? Talk about my channel. What about your channel? I don't understand. Like, is it back or something like that? Is that the question? Ron says, Vivian is so shady. I highlight when she called Chloe Candy. Alyssa says, I can't believe I was rooting for Carly today, and I don't even like her. And Spiderquake says, I like Carly today, I meant. No, I know what you meant. Oh, okay, so you like Vivian Alamein. Okay. I don't know, I just love the fact that she came up in there, she was like, she practically was giving everyone their walking papers. She was like, all right, so y'all can leave now. I was waiting for that. I was waiting for that. I did a review on it also. But he says, well played, Sonny. So yes, 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. DC is going to be coming through. Oh my God, that's awesome. Yeah, made that state attorney look like an idiot today. Oh, I don't understand really what the question was. That's all. Just said talk about your channel. Like, what about your channel? Like, you have okay. I mean, that's cool that you got your channel back. I hope it stays on. I hope it stays up. Yes, 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock, my friend. 9 o'clock. This one just says Sonny asked Dex why he didn't get arrested. Yeah, I'm glad you peeped that. Just says I just can't stand Molly. Are we still going? We still going on that? We still going on that theory? We still going on that theory, Ron? Some dude named J Money. I'm gonna be honest. J Money theory sounds stupid. I'm not even gonna bother to try to class it up. It just sounds dumb. Yeah, it's just his theory sounds stupid. I'm not even apologizing for it. Spike Quick says also I like Christina. Freddie says I don't give two F's about Molly and TJ. Yes, Freddie, yes. Spike Quick says, Albert, anything is possible. See, Spike Quick, you're smart. I like that. I like that. I'm glad you get the joke. I am so glad you get the joke, Spider Quick. Sancha says Nina would have had a fit if she heard Carly's name. Ambassador Sam is in the chat. Double C is in the chat. What's good, Double C? Elise said, no, no, you're Albert. No, you're Albert. I don't know what that means. I mean, it's obviously a good thing because I am Albert. Yep, no, he's clearly not adjusting, LaShanta. Spike Quick says school wears me out. I just woke up an hour ago. I used to do that sometimes when I used to when I was in high school. Sometimes I would take like a really good nap. Just says Curtis finally didn't annoy me in the scene. Well, I'll give him time. No, I used to do that sometimes quite quick. I would do my homework at school. I would come home. I would sleep for an hour and a half. I would study, and then I would watch Cartoon Network. Kyrie says, I really hope the plan of killing off Molly is true. All recast has failed so far, and the cast is bloated enough. Bye bye. Police said Curtis is an ass. Whoa, what did Curtis do? What did Curtis do today? Police says this Molly really doesn't seem to be working. Do you think they'll eventually try another recast? The problem is, the problem is, Nate. I guess they could. I mean, the writing still sucks. So, Flyquick says I didn't even do nothing today. I'm worn out. But this is your first week back in school, though, right? Right, Spider-Quake? Like, this is your first week back, going back? Ron said that those were real FBI agents. Not one single of them was at the court as a witness at Sheila trial. Um, I'm 100% sure those were real FBI agents. I'm like, so that's why. You honestly tell you the truth, Spike Quick, well, you've been off for a while. So it's gonna take you some time to actually kind of adjust. That's what I'm saying. I'm liking Teresa so far now. I am liking Teresa. That was my high school life. Get home nap, eat lunch, do homework. I miss sleep. That's why I try to catch up on sleep on some Saturdays. But yeah, no, it's yeah. I mean, you've been literally on vacation for a while. When you actually go back to school, it takes a while for you to kind of get adjusted. So, like I said, that was pretty much my high school. Do my homework, come home, sleep, study, Cartoon Network. Of course, when I started watching soap operas, that pretty much the napping definitely went out the window. But especially when I started watching three of them, um, when it was just GH. I mean, when it was just One Life to Live, it made it so much easier. Freddie says Curtis is frustrated, but he needs to look on the bright side. He can still run the place while being in the wheelchair. How remember Michael Jackson performed in the wheelchair at a. I don't remember that. Mel says, Albert, I know that Teresa has interior molars to use Alex to make. Yeah, of course. Because, yep, yep, I watched the episode. I remember that part. I don't know. Here's the thing. I know I'm going to get in trouble for what I said on my Days of Our Lives review. And I don't care. I'm not going to repeat it. So if you want to find it, then you should watch it. But I know I'm going to get in trouble for it. But I wasn't a fan of the way that Brady was sitting there talking about Teresa with Alex like a 12-year-old little schoolgirl. Double C says Curtis needs to count his blessings. He got support. You know, I'll sit there and say this. It's you know what, Double C. It's easy for us to sit there and look at it that way. It's easy for us to sit there and look at that way. Now, there's somebody in the chat. I'm not gonna sit there and say who they are, but she explained it from being a disabled person and how that looks from being from being on that side of being disabled. So I don't understand what Curtis is going through, and it's a little bit different when you are disabled. To sit there and say count your blessings. It's I don't know. In some ways, I feel like it's a little bit kind of dismissive. I would say. I would sit there and say it's a little kind of dismissive. Lasanta says why Brady hates Teresa so much. That's a good question. I know that she's done some stuff in the past, though. Brady says, I would love there's a video you can look it up. Michael Jackson 1993 Awards. Yeah, I'll check it out. There was a point that I was a huge Michael Jackson fan until the whole allegation started, and but then that just pretty much kind of went bye at that point. But before that, I was a huge fan, and then I grew up. I was like, oh, that's not cool. Jolie says, I don't think Teresa is that bad. Brady was involved for Kristen, and she did much worse than Teresa. I am so glad that you said that, Jolie. I am so effing glad that you said that. Like, I really am. Perry says, Sonny should disown Michael. Sonny needs to start treating Michael the way Victor treats Adam. Michael deserves it. Oh, no, it's tomorrow. Okay, on MTV. Man, I haven't watched MTV in so long. I understand the outline of it now. It just there was something about it that just kind of bothered me. It was like, bro, why are you sitting there why in a way you being a blocker for? See, I can't curse because I don't want the stream to be demonetized. Why are you being such a blocker for? Why are you being such a P blocker for? There, I said it. Kyrie, did you you know what? Never mind. I'm not gonna say it. Never mind. Double C says, well, Curtis could not be alive at all. But here's the thing, though. Sometimes being alive and sometimes living and they're not the same. You could be alive but not living. You know, like yeah, you're alive and everything like that, and that's great, but you're not really living. And there is a difference. There is a difference. There's a difference between just stop being scared to ask questions. Curry says, "Did I hate when you can't answer your questions." Oh, so Kyrie, so you are you still not cool with my exit or my exit story for Sonny? No, no, they can't do that. No, they can't do that. They can't do that. Then he says, "That's my question about." I don't understand about your channel. Okay, I need you to sit there and instead of putting it in pieces, just type in the whole question. This way I can answer it. No, they can't take away my super chats. Thank God. But no, Caris, you're not oh, and Lisa Clapp is in the chat. Carrie says, did you make a new video? I didn't get it. No. No, I'm putting out the video tonight. Nope. And Jess, no, I'm not scared to ask questions. Okay, Jess, I'm not scared to ask questions. But I was being smart though. Carrie says, oh, was it in your review today? No. I just the theory that I had about Sonny going out, like his exit story, and I know you didn't like that idea, but no, what are you talking about? I ain't scared. I'm not scared or scared. Lusanta says Albert Gladys needs to get hers. Is Nina going to tell Sonny? No. And not because it would make sense, because it would make sense, but because of the damn plot. Um I ain't scared, Jess. I was being practical. I was being practical. Yeah, that's what it was. I was being practical, Jess. Harry says that was unacceptable. Say, Michael. I love it. Harry says, so I'm very much looking forward to a new action storyline. I don't know, Kyrie. I feel like I can't do it yet. My male ego would not allow me to concede and just say, yeah, you are. No, I was being okay, that might be true, Jeff. But the point was I was being I was being non-offensive. That's what I was being. Yes, I was being very non-offensive. Yes. Yes, Jess. I was being very non-offensive. Santa says everyone on days are kin. Yeah, I feel like that bloodline is just way too like seriously. I do. One sec. I'm not ignoring anyone. I promise. That's not true. That is definitely not true. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. What? What did what did you say, Jess? Have a good night, Jay Blue. It was good to see you in the chat, my friend. I don't know what Kyrie's is talking about, and I don't know what you're saying exactly, to Jess. Freddie says since Justin can't handle the mob life with Dex, Maurice Benoit's son comes back to GH. Maybe they can do a chemistry screen test with him and Justin, but we'll see how this storyline plays out. It's gonna be interesting. I'll say that much. It will be interesting. Like I said, I'm gonna have no problems with Dig. Well, you already know. You already know. But I'm not gonna lie. I felt like Sonny was surprised. Just says what are they doing with Esme? No, I wouldn't. I have no idea what you're talking about, Kyrie. Who is this Albert that you're referring to? What are they doing with Esme? Hmm. What are they doing with her? I honestly tell you, I this one Mr. Old Esme, the villain. I mean, yeah, Kyrie, you act like Justice running things or something. You act like Justice running things. Just don't run things. I'm not scared of Jess. Most of it, it's just hope that Lucas gets out of prison with Phillips. I'm not gonna lie, man. When you said Lucas, I almost kind of forgot about that character. I'm gonna be honest. I genuinely forgot about that character. Jackie B said, "Do you think Dante will ever get involved in the business?" I think it would be super interesting. I think I'm not okay. I'm not gonna lie. I think it would be super interesting if he got into the business. I would actually like that. Versace says Sonny was too calm and he was thinking back with his conversation with Ava. Very true. Yeah, I'm not scared of you, Jess. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that, Kyrie's. Just Jess and Kyrie's have the same spirit. Can we say troublemakers? Have a good night, Tris. It was really great to see you. Seriously, it's always really good to see you, Tris. Thank you. Francis says, remember Sonny told Valentine he wouldn't work with Pikeman. That's true. And Valerie's in the chat. What's good, Valerie? That is true. That is true. That is very true, my friend Kyrie's. Spikeworks is Albert. Always lets Jess do whatever she wants. And that's yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I do sit there and say Jess gets whatever she wants. But Sancho says Sunny filled the crates with coffee. Yeah, people said that it was gonna wind up happening now too. What's going on? Okay. Darby says baseballs, no golf balls. Freddie says that as May said to Spencer, oh, this dinner's for us. Trina had that look like yes. And I was there for it. I was there for it. Absolutely not. I mean, she is the queen. Except when she tries no, and that's not true, Kyrie. Except when she sits there and she attempts to try to battle me. And then she winds up getting bodied like usual. Like usual. Like all the time. So I'm excited about. Oh, okay. Well, I know Talia's leaving, so yeah, that's very true, Tris. Kyrie's is my guy. Spiker says Albert is DC joining us or no. I'm just waiting for him. Well, he should be he should be in a few minutes. Yeah, Jess. There's only one Jess in this chat, and that's you. I know you've been taking L's left and right since you attempted to battle me, but to be fair, you're not exactly representing a good character. So it's not even really hard to do. That's just you just make it too easy. This one just says why would Trina want those? I'm not gonna lie, I kind of was surprised by that too though. Robbie says Liz and Carly bonding with Anthony over motherhood. Barry says I'm the modern force. I'm way more confident and formidable than Dex. Cat ladies in the chat, the one and only. Thank you again for the super chat. Thank you, thank you. Uh, time.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so good to see you again. How you been?
I've been good. I'm hanging in there. I'm
Dave
hanging
was
in there.
good.
What was that?
No, I was saying what's up to Dave. And of course, it's DC in the chat. Let's everyone say what's up to DC.
Hey everybody,
He's
what's
not
going
just in the chat,
on?
he's in the live right now.
I know. I wanted to come on. I said, I wanted to come on right after class. I said, let me come on, and even though it's gonna be for a little bit of time, I said, why not just to come on the chat? Because yesterday, because it's almost like a block party every time one comes on your live. It's like a block party. That's what it really reminds you of. It's like a block party. Someone's making some hot dogs. Someone's making some burgers. Nikisha's making vegan burgers in the background. Someone's doing something.
Absolutely. How's everything? How's life going? You was in, but on the side note, you was in
And
James live stream yesterday, right?
I was his little telethon he had going on. His little telethon. I was in it. I was in it. You know, I'll say this right now. Life is. It's been a lot. It's been a roller coaster. There's been school. There's been the new relationship. There's been that. So it's been like crap coming from everywhere. It's like all these new responsibilities. Sometimes I kind of wonder if I've bitten off so much more than I can chew. It feels like that at times, especially relationships. Like when you're seeing someone, it's like a new relationship. It's like a job in itself, full time job, no benefits.
That's actually not true, but yeah,
Well, no, yeah, well, yeah, there are benefits.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let me dial that back. There are some benefits, but it's been a lot, honestly. I think I've also had to lay off the caffeine because that's been making me a little neurotic too. But sometimes I do wonder if I've bitten off so much more than I can chew because it's a lot of responsibilities, a lot of me feeling like I'm being tugged from so many different places. But I'm trying to manage.
You got a lot going on. You got a lot going on, but you're doing it well. You're doing it well.
So I'm
Uh,
trying. I'm trying. Like I mean, so like I said, it's just been management of a lot. So you even saw that text I sent you yesterday, right? I don't know how to
yes,
respond, but I guess who knows? At that point, then I guess I might as well speak for the right.
but it's so weird though, because it's like unless you must have said it somewhere in the chat or somebody else said it, there's
Yeah, there's been no
I don't.
mention of that. I mean, unless they meant something else by publicly, because I know that they are, you know, of a
I
Korean
mean,
background. To me,
unless this person's watching my videos in
I
my
mean,
live stream.
but I feel like they're in the army. Do they have time for all this? Like they get time to watch
Yeah,
YouTube?
yeah, you'd
Yeah,
be
that's true. They do.
surprised.
They do. They do.
So
They do. They do. So, but I don't know. I've been trying to manage. It's like I said. It felt like it's been feeling like the responsibility because even as you get older, relationships require a different type of level of responsibility from you. It's not like you're just goo goo gaga eye for the person. There's like this idea of a future, these plans, and even though I know it's new, but of course I would go into that mentality. I'm almost like 30. Like I have to restructure my mind a little bit. I feel, so it's and then the school, well, school number one, so that's yeah. You can hear it in my voice, right?
no, no, no. I mean, but I mean, it's not. I was gonna sit there and say it's stress, but it's just more just being an adult, though. That's just what it really comes down to.
Yeah,
Um, and it's you're handling it.
I'm becoming a
You're not
Christina.
folding. You're not cracking under pressure. So
I'm a Christina. I'm the Kate Manzi version now of Christina, though.
I saw you wound up doing 2 reviews, though, also
I
today.
did. I did. Because you know what? Like I said last week, I managed to catch the last two episodes of YNR Days and GH, and I caught a little bit of B&B. But B&B, I feel like I could literally go weeks without, and I don't miss much. Um, but I did. I caught a little bit of the soaps of Days and GH, and I gotta admit, they were there. Well, Days was at its best. Days was at its best last week. GH still needs some work.
Now, I put the title, Eric declares war on Ridge. I don't know if you saw the previews, but it seemed like it literally seemed like he's actually declaring war. He's like, he's going to make it. He's going to do his own fashion line. He pretty much went there telling Brooke like, "Yo, I'm coming for Ridge at this point,
Did Ridge
so
kick
he
him out of
better bring
Forster
his A."
Creations?
Hmm?
Did Ridge kick him out of Forster Creations?
No, but he practically is at this point. Well, I mean, he's pretty much telling him to retire and stuff. Thank you, Kyrie. Kyrie says Donna Corinthos can outwit Spider Quake. Okay. Thank you, Kyrie. Thank you. Um, but I don't know. It just seems interesting. Um,
This sounds random,
absent,
like Molly and Christina. Even though I haven't watching B&B in a while, but this does feel random to me for some reason.
it is, but it's not as annoying though. See, that's the problem. Like Molly is just straight up annoying. So it's like,
The Molly storyline with TJ, like the Molly Christina thing, it's like I get what the writers are trying to do, but there just wasn't a proper build up to this point. It just felt like, oh, I want to be your surrogate. Oh, you're too much of my marriage. I'm pissed at you, sister. It's like this is not really in their personalities, and this is playing out with recasts on top of that. So it's like so many different layers of the story that just feel like, I don't know how I feel about this. Like none of it feels natural. It's not even with the well, not the original Molly and Christina. The original Molly and Christina's were babies, but I'm talking about the actors we knew them as in the role. Those
Yeah.
actors aren't there anymore. You got these recasts in the role. The beef is just going way too strong for what reasons I don't know. Um, so it's like, what are we really watching here? You know what I'm saying? And it's just, it's like Cody and Sasha. I can't get into it. I'm trying, but I can't. I can't get into it. I'm trying to. I'm trying to though.
Now, did you actually like? Was you a person that liked the Cody, or was you a person that didn't like Cody?
I like Cody though. I like Cody. I like Cody, but doing all that for a girl that you just met, it's a lot. You know,
Kind of
someone
extra,
stabbed me to
right?
death. What was that?
Kind of extra.
Yeah, someone stabbed me to death. They're going crazy. You know, and I just met you. I don't know how to be getting involved in all of this. I just don't know. And it's like they're desperately trying to salvage Cody's image. My guess for when they reveal that Mac is really his father. At this point, Mac is acting like his father, so I don't know what more of a drasticness we're gonna get here at this point. Um, it just it was random. A lot of these storylines in GH is random. Like who was the boss? It being Cyrus or no, which I know that Cyrus is pretty much Austin's father. I'm convinced at this point he's Austin's father. More than
Hmm.
probably anything else. I'm just when Austin said to Cyrus, "Yeah, when I was a kid, he went to go visit my mom. You helped us out." I was like, "Yep, that's his father." When he said that, I was like, "Yep, that's his father." Unless if GH tried to stick with that, because they've been in a weird directions they've been going in. But once he said, I was like, yeah, Cyrus is pretty much intended to be his father, intended to be. Whether we see that play out or not, we know the story.
Yeah, I don't. I remember asking you, what did you think of Cyrus actually being the boss? Was you disappointed? Was you like,
Even the reveal was kind of like, like he just turned around. He had a nice haircut. The haircut was on point. I'll give him that. That haircut was on point. That was a sharp cut. That was a sharp cut. Okay,
especially
but
for a prison cut, right?
right. Well, yeah, prison barbers be on it. They be on it. I used to watch Lockup back in the day. Prison barbers be on it. It was very lackluster, and I mean, Cyrus Renault just had his whole heaven, hell, redemption storyline thing with Laura like 2 days prior, and then just now be revealed as the boss. It was a weird transition because my whole thing is I thought they did the whole thing with him being in hell and Laura being like the person guiding him through was like his redemption. So you redeemed him just to F him right back up again.
Yeah.
Weird, right? You know what I'm saying? Weird. It was a weird transition. I wasn't sure what to make of it. You know what I mean? I wasn't sure what to make of that. So what did you think about him being the boss though?
My whole thing is like it made sense, especially Cyrus coming after Sonny. I mean, I was fine with it because I like Cyrus as a boss. Um, and I did feel like that whole him being, talking about the Bible this and the Bible that and stuff like that. It was like, um, I knew it was not. I knew it was not. So when I found out that he was the boss, it was like, okay, you know what, that makes sense. And then there's one point where he's not there doing his sermon or whatever, and I felt like maybe that was a way to sit there and kind of like get, like with the whole prisoners and stuff like that, to kind of like get them loyal to him and stuff. Maybe I don't know. It made sense. I mean, granted, yeah, they could have went for something better. They could have brought back Julie. They could have brought a new person.
Yeah.
You know, they could have did something better. I just don't think that that was the worst. You know, I would sit there and say I don't think that was the worst.
I gotta ask you, what were your thoughts on Belle comforting Philip at Victor's funeral? Can we talk about that for a moment?
Absolutely. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't think of it at first because I only started watching it recently. I can see that being a problem, right? I can see him being upset about it. But then you listen to this saying like you said that Bell was responsible for Sean drinking. See, that's where I kind of had issues because at the end of the day, I always feel like you need to own your stuff. You need to own it, right?
But her
Because it's
posing up to the man that she once had an affair with on Sean years ago, Didn't help though. It didn't help. Even though it was a
No, it,
few.
no, no, it didn't help. It didn't. But that's like Elena. It's sort of the same thing you was just saying. Like Elena was responsible for um Nate losing his medical career,
Well, she was.
which
Okay.
but she wasn't though. Okay, okay. I don't want to say this in a way
Indirectly,
where
indirectly,
uh,
she was. Indirectly.
indirect. Okay, so yeah, and indirectly, yes. And so yeah, and that could be the same thing said for Sean's drinking.
Because I mean, when I saw Belle get up to go
Hey, you have
comfort
to hold
Philip,
accountability.
right, right, right. The thing was that when I saw Belle go up to go comfort Philip, I was like, there was multiple people there at that funeral that could have comforted Philip, including his mother. Why did it have to be Belle, the woman that she had once cheated on Sean with? And I get it, it's Victor's funeral, but she was technically really there for Sean. She wasn't there for Philip. So it was just like when she got up out of her seat, I was like, "You better get back in. You better get back in your seat." That's all I said. You better get back in your seat. Get up out your seat. Don't you get up out that seat? And Sean looked at her like, I feel like in a situation like that, you're supposed to look over your husband, and then if he gives you the nod, like, go ahead, comfort him. But you didn't get that nod. You went on your own, and everybody was looking at Belle kind of sideways, like, "What are you doing?" Like, you know.
No, exactly. It was definitely a bad look. Here's the thing. I would definitely agree it was a bad look. It was just bad all around, right? I just like indirectly I could sit there and see like you know her causing him stress to the point where it's like he felt the need to drink or whatever just to be like, I can't believe she just did that. I can't believe she just embarrassed me like that. You know, 'cause
She
that's
already
literally
embarrassed
what
him
it
with
was.
EJ. She already
Yeah.
embarrassed him, EJ. He just had a hard time because that's tough in a relationship when someone embarrasses you, humiliates you, and betrays you, and you're trying to get over it, and you're still with them, and which is whew, this is tough. I don't know. If someone cheat on me and embarrass me, I turn into a Thomas Forrester, the old kind of Thomas Forrester. That'd be a lot for me to handle. That'd be a lot for me to handle. Um, but when
Would you feel that that's just on a side note? Would you feel that that is unforgivable?
the cheating,
Yes.
anyone I've ever been in a relationship with, I've always told them it is, but I feel like low key I could maybe forgive it, but I don't. You don't want to tell them that. You don't give them ideas. I don't know. It
Well,
would
yeah, yeah. I mean,
traumatize me. It would traumatize me. I don't feel like I could trust them. Just know they did something like that to me. I'm not saying I'm a saint. I put it that way, but it's just I don't know if I don't know. Like, because it's like, what if I'm married with them and we have like 3 kids or something? It's like, and it's been 10 years in the game. Not saying that that's the only reason why they should be forgiven, but like, am I going to just drop it all? Like, it's hard to say. What about you? I believe it's unforgivable, right? In the gospel according to Albert.
I feel like it is. First of all, it was good. Nikisha was good. Big Nate. Um, I feel like it is unforgivable. I feel like the only way that I could sit there and forgive it is if I did the same thing and even it out. Yes, I believe in balance. I said this yesterday, and I will stand
Human
10
revenge.
toes. Sure, I mean, if that's what you want to sit there and call it, I mean, I was going to
Revenge.
sit there and say balance because it
Balance.
is a balance. Yes, it is. You can't because you cannot. Let me tell you something. You cannot have that level of imbalance in your relationship.
That's like
You
someone
just
saying,
can't.
you killed my family member. And so to balance out the scales, let me kill yours too. That's called
Yes,
revenge.
absolutely.
That's
I
revenge.
feel like I feel like that's like that's such an ugly word.
Revenge.
It is. It's a not nice word.
Retribution. Does that sound nicer? Retribution.
I like to call it even in the no. I call it even in the playing field. That's what I call it.
Because you know what? The thing about it is that with Bell and Sean hasn't had his chance to having his affair. But that would hurt. But I feel like if he did that to Bell to balance things out, wouldn't that make it kind of like almost toxic? Then like maybe like a weird toxic dynamic at that point.
Well, no, no, because then they're on an even playing field.
Is
So
it
they
really
can't sit
even
there.
though? Because now here's the thing, he just got over her hurt, his hurt, but now she's not going through a hurt now. And yes, you can say it's balanced, but she might feel like, damn, now I'm hurt now. Like, what am I gonna do with my hurt? He just cheated on me.
I was then you basically sit there and say, well, you know what, you cheated on me, so now we're even.
But he waited a
See,
whole year to get
yes,
back at her.
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
There's a
Thank you, Darby.
timeline.
Darby says to all my football Giants fans, how about them Cowboys? Now have a good night, Alyssa. Good seeing you again. But no, it's about balance. I literally, and I mean, and I know it sounds kind of messed up, but I would literally sit there and be like, you know what? If you're hurt right now, this is called balance. Listen, I have never once claimed that I can be that I'm always a nice person. So yeah, sorry.
This is why I feel like when Belle did that, she drove that man a drink because I was like, you better not get up out your seat. When she got out of her seat, like, "Mama?" And I was like, his mom is there. Like, he doesn't need you to comfort him. The whole Kyriakis family is there. I, it was so inappropriate. It was so
No, it was definitely bad.
it was so inappropriate. Go ahead and clean that up. Yep, go ahead and clean it up. I know you see that comment. Go ahead and clean it up.
Well, no, I'm not always a nice person. There's really nothing to clean up. I'm being dead ass serious.
Albert is a Jack Abbott here. He's a Jack Abbott of Boston Enterprises. You know, this is the thing with Y&R. Whoever Jack has been with has always gotten the keys to the kingdom. That's what Billy Abbott knows. That's why Billy Abbott is not with this thing with him and Diane, because he knows that whoever Jack is with, they get the keys to the kingdom.
And it's actually really funny because I've been defending Diane like this whole for a while, right? But the minute she sat there and she was like, well, Kyle, I want Kyle to sit there and be with us. It's like,
Yeah, when she did that, I
so
was
you
like,
want,
it's exactly what people were talking about.
yeah,
When she did that, I was like, well, she's like, yeah, but I really want Kyle back at Jabot. And I was like, this is what everybody was talking about. This is what
yeah.
everybody was talking
I'm not
about.
gonna. That's why I sat there. Was like, I sat there. Was like, God damn it.
I was like, seeing her do that, I was just like, wow, Diane, really? Like, oh, because Kyle's not gonna come back to Jabot unless Billy's gone.
Yeah. Well, Nikisha, I'm not always nice. I don't think anyone's always nice. Kyrie says Albert has soft aside. He forgive quicker than the hell I do not.
But let's be real about it. Jabot belongs to Kyle Abbott. Like Jack Abbott said that one episode, I am Jabot. So like I don't know what Ashley and Billy are doing. Y'all wasting your time. Just sit in the background and you start your own company because Jack Abbott is Jabot. Like I don't I'm shocked they haven't understood that yet. Like this company is going to Kyle and Harrison. Like Abby's not getting it. Johnny and Katie are not getting it. Who are the rest of
Oh
the Abbots?
damn.
Tracy's not getting it. Theo is not getting it. None of those other Abbotts. Well, Theo's technically not an Abbott. He's a Mergeron, but he's part of their family. But none of them are getting the keys to the kingdom. So I don't. Like because when you look at every soap business, you always know who's like the next in line. Like for the Demaras, we know that's pretty much EJ is the next in line to inherit Demara Enterprises. Everybody else is wasting their time. It's really EJ that's next in line to get it. Now I know what Keisha says. Actually, Jabot, she owns all the patents. Okay, true. But I'm pretty sure somewhere down the line, Jack's got his legal team on that case, say how they've got he's got his legalese on it. I'm sure Jack's got his legalese on that too as well. So you know what I mean. So, but Jack is Jabot, and let's be real, he's been the face of Jabot. When Ashley ran off to Los Angeles on the Bold and the Beautiful to go be with Rick Forrester, who was still keeping charge of Jabot? It was Jack, right? When Tracy went off, who was keeping charge of Jabot? It was Jack. When Billy was devastated because he was sleeping with Mac and he thought Mac was his cousin at the time and he left town, who was still keeping charge of Jabot? Jack. He is Jabot. Just like how Victor is Newman Enterprises, which I got to say that real quick. I don't understand why Sharon would think it would be a wise idea to go underneath Victor, like to merge Kirsten with Newman Media. Like everyone knows working underneath Victor is a disaster. You saw Victor gave her back the company because he was just in the mood to, and when he's in the mood, he'll take it back.
Yes, and I'm not gonna sit there and lie. When okay, see, and that was the thing that was so out of pocket for me. Like one minute he's sitting there being like, "Hey, Sharon wants her company back," and he's pretty much like, "I'll see you in court." 2 days later, he's like, "You know what? I think I'll give you back your company." I'm just like, where did that come from? Did you just wake up and decide to have a conscience today? Like it was so out of left field. But it's like you said, he just picks and chooses when he decides he wants to sit there and be generous and nice.
Like he was
Uh,
sitting there and it was like, Sharon, I decided to give you back your company. I think you do very good with the company. And I think it's in good hands. I trust you. I trust you very well, yeah. And I think that Adam is not good for this company, but Sharon, I trust you, and I think that you'll do well with the company, and I think I should give it back to you. I'm being gracious. It's like whatever Victor wants, and it's like this is not going to end. It's going to be another ping pong. Next thing you know, Victor will be like, Sharon, I've decided I'm taking over the company. I think it's what's best. I think you should step down. I think it's for the best of everybody. Okay. It's just like,
now, first of all, I I wish Eric Braden was actually here to sit there and watch your interpretation of that. That's number one. So listen, everyone, I feel like everyone should sit there and share this video because I wanted to somehow get the Eric Braden. So you
this
can
is
sit
this
there and
is
see DC doing that.
This is a typical Nikki and Victor interaction. Nikki will go, well, Victor, I think you should consider the fact that, it's important to have someone around the company. And for Sharon and Nick to be together, I think they're bringing great things. Nikki, I hear you very much. I hear very well. My darling, I hear you. But at the same time, I want Adam and Victoria to take the helm. It's important. We have to stick together in Newman's. Nicholas, he hasn't been much more in the company, and Sharon is a coffee therapist. She should stay in her lane, okay? So very well. Listen to me, darling. I want it fine, okay? Thank you very much. All right, love it. Very good.
You got that he got that Victor thing down packed. It is scary.
Like I wonder, has anyone ever noticed that about the way he talks? Like I'll go like this and just the eyes are squinty. But to me, I just feel like what was Sharon thinking? Like when like he's giving her the company back now, but he'll change his mind 20 minutes later on something else. And I'm just waiting for it at this point. I'm waiting for this point. And Adam is like, oh yeah, my dad, he's locked me out of the company and the family. And I'm like, Adam, you've done way worse before. Like you've gaslighted Ashley, you made her lose her baby, she fell down a staircase, you stole Sharon's baby, you pretended to be gay to get out of criminal charges. I'm pretty sure Victor was able to forgive you with that. This you'll be all right. You'll be all
See
right.
my whole thing is like even with this whole like I know that Adam has something going on. Like he's not sitting there saying, well, he's like, hey, listen, I'll start at the bottom. I work my way to the top. I want to prove myself to be a Newman. I'm like, bro, I haven't even been watching the show that long, and I can already tell that Adam is sitting there lying. So I'm just like, well, what is this plan? You know?
And with Audra, when she sat down with Nikki, I was happy when Nikki got her good because it's like, did you like how like how smart are you to think that you can sleep with the boss's grandson-in-law, right? And then that was just gonna fly by while you're working at Summer's family's company. Like, did you really think that was gonna fly by? So when Nikki gave her that ultimatum, honestly, I understood that. I would do the same thing too, because that's awkward. Like you're breaking up her granddaughter's marriage, and you think you're just gonna
Well,
like
well, well,
break her up. You think you're gonna
well, well,
Audra's
well,
awkward. Audra had her sights set on this. This is what Audra wants. She didn't fall into this. Some soap characters fall into this by accident, and they're truly remorseful. She's not. She's got an agenda on all sides.
where's good, Jakars?
Albert's gonna defend her
Um,
because she looks good. Go ahead with the defense.
oh wow. So were you actually there when Carrie's actually brought up the evidence that whole night? But you weren't there for that.
No, I don't think I was. What was
Oh
the
wow.
evidence?
So me and Jess was sitting there going back and forth like usual, and like usual, I was bodying her, and she was taking a bunch of L's, and Kyrie's came out of nowhere. He had, I guess I made a video where I said that um she can pretty much kind of get away with whatever she wants because she looks good. And of course, Kyrie's to this day will not let me live that down. So when you said that, I was like, did you actually watch the video? Like, where did that even come from?
I think I did watch that video that you posted on Audra. I did watch it. The thing is with Audra is that, like I said, with her as a character, she is very manipulative. She's not like there's some people in soaps and they have affairs. They're truly sorry. They're truly sorry for what they've done. Nina is truly sorry for it. Well, she was sorry in the beginning for what she did on Nixon's wife. She was sorry for it. There was a little bit of remorse there. It wasn't intentional. She didn't set her sights out to tell Sonny. Like I always said, she did call Carly first. That was her first instinct, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let the record show. But with Audra, this is a power play for her. She's sleeping with an Abbott, so she knows even if things fall through the cracks in new media, she still got Jabot. There's still a little bit of Jabot she can have in her back pocket with Kyle, right? And then of course with the Newmans, she's got Nate in her back pocket. And Nate is kind of like, sis, what are you doing? Like, we're the outsiders coming in. Like, what are you doing? And the one thing I don't like with this storyline is like everyone is kissing Newman's family ass. You notice it? Oh, sorry. I'm not gonna say that in the live stream. ASS, but sorry. Probably too late. But everyone's kissing their butt, and I'm just like, they're acting like Newman Media is the only business in town.
Yeah, yeah. That I can agree with. That I can
No
agree
one's trying to
with.
go work at Jabot, I noticed. But they're acting like Newman Media is the only business in town, and this is why Victor is acting like this pompous jerk that thinks he can just shift his mind whenever he wants to. And I get why this is why Nick never wanted to work for him because it's that type of level of toxicity. But back to Audra though, I'm glad that Nikki gave her that ultimatum. I'm glad because I think Nikki was in the right track. What did you think about that when you saw those scenes?
You tell she was in the right. First, here's my whole thing. First of all, I do not like Nikki bougie ass.
Me
I
neither. I agree.
really don't. I really don't. And then second, you sent there saying that that she broke up their marriage. Kyle broke up his marriage. First of all, that's who broke up his marriage. It was Kyle who decided to walk away from Summer, even after she apologized multiple times, which was wrong on him. And it really says a lot about today's standards as far as being in relationships and how people are just so quick to just give up
Yeah,
on
he
a
took it to the
relationship.
next level. He took it to the extreme with Summer. Like I was kind of harsh the way he did that to Summer.
Yeah, it was yeah. And so, my whole thing is like I don't understand like why. I mean, I get that that's her granddaughter and stuff like that, and she wants to protect her and stuff. And I'm like, she also is a grown ass woman. She doesn't need you to sit there and try to protect her precious feelings. And then she had the audacity to sit there and come at Kyle to make sure that he broke it off. I'm like, so what, is Kyle not allowed to sit there and date anyone else? Like, I don't understand. Is he gonna be fired if you sit there and decide to date somebody else? Like, what's
But here's the thing: I get where Nikki was coming from because it's awkward when you're looking at this woman who is causing her granddaughter pain, and her granddaughter's still trying to fix their marriage, and she's just talking about business stuff, and you can't help but think about how she's sleeping with your grandson a lot. It's a weird. I get where Nikki was coming. It's a weird concept. I would feel the same way too. Like if I was a CEO of a company and let's say, okay, I'll go with my brother. Let's say if the woman that he was married to, she's with another man. That man is working for my company, Sanctuary Productions. Let's just say, right? I would feel weird. I'm like, I don't know if I can hire you. Like, I don't know. It'll feel weird. Like, I get this is business, and you might be great what you do, but that's in the back of my mind. Like, it's like the enemy is working here, and so I get why Nikki's like, okay, Audra's good at what she does, but I need to have some stipulations here, because you don't want to feel like you're just throwing your head in the sand and you're allowing scrutiny underneath your roof because that is Summer's grandparents. And I mean, what is the point of having your grandparents own a multi-million-dollar business if they can't fire people who did you wrong? Like, so
you know, you know, you know what? I can see where you're coming from. To be honest, you know what? I'm so glad you actually explained it that way because my whole thing is like because I don't like Nikki so much.
you
And
want
I
to
mean,
pursue
I
past it.
really cannot stand that woman with a passion. Um, I can see where you're coming from. I personally don't like the idea of her dictating what Audra does with her time. I do feel like it's unprofessional, but I do get where you're coming from at the same time. I do get that part. Curry says, LaShanta pointed out that Albert gives Audra a pass. Albert denies it. I had to get Albert together. He should know better than to try to both Jay and me.
I agree, Kyrie. I agree because Albert knows it was because Audra looked good. That's how he gets past. He knows that's why. He knows that's why. He knows that's why. But you know the thing was with Audra, like I said, like when Nikki, like now you get it because it's awkward in that sense. It's like to me, I don't know if I could be in the same room. It's almost like working with someone. Let's say if I was married and someone slept with my husband and I got to work with them, like I'm gonna have to give my 2 weeks notice. There's no way in the world I can be professional in that situation. I'm gonna have to give my 2 weeks notice. You know?
No. You know, I do. Oof. Yeah, I think it's yeah. No, I can see it. I can see
It's
it.
like, could you imagine if you were at work and your new supervisor turned out to be the person that was sleeping with your wife?
Oh, oh,
And you got to take
oh
orders
my
from this
God.
person. You without
Oh,
wanting to slap the crap out of them first.
yeah. That's
And you know,
okay.
anything that they would say would bother you. They could just breathe like, ah. You're like, look at that guy over there breathing. What the hell are you breathing for?
You got a point. You got a point.
There's
Wow.
no way that it just no, it wouldn't be able to work. It wouldn't be able to work. So that's why I was like, I get why Nikki did it, and I was like, okay. Normally, I don't like Nikki either. I don't. But in that one moment, I was like, you know, I get it. I'm glad somebody checked this thing with Audra because I don't think Victor was ever even gonna check it. You know, which surprised me. And it's weird that Kyle is working for Summer's family company. Well, technically, he doesn't want to. Jackson forced him out, but he's working for Summer's family's company. Same with Audra. It's like, are the two of them not thinking how they're trying to have a secret affair? And Nate now knows. And Nate's looking at Audra like, sis, what are you doing? Like, we're outsiders. Like, we can't get away with this type of stuff.
Yes, exactly. Also, they're in a public park. Have a good night, Freddie. They were in a public park when they sat there and they met up. And, you know, Nate was just like, I know she's going to do something stupid. So he followed her. And then when you saw it, he just had that look like, sis, really? Like, are you joking right now?
And if
Like,
you're
what
gonna
are
have
you
an affair,
doing?
go out of town. Everyone knows you're gonna have an affair. Go out of town. Be smart. Go out of town. That's one of like the rules. There's a rule book to having an affair. There's a couple of rules. You make sure it's not someone in your social circle. You make sure it's not someone that's affiliated with your work. You make sure you go do it out of town. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't know too much about you. You don't know too much about them. Like it's just there's rules to this. I'm not okay. I'm not saying this is what I did. I'm just saying. You go out of town. You have an affair. You go out of town.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. No, I get that. I get that.
Like
It's
you don't
not,
go to
yeah,
the
yeah.
park of Genoa City. Be like, oh, we're in public now. Like really.
Yeah, I mean, I get the idea that they want to sit there and maybe that's their kink or whatever. It's like almost getting caught. But I'm like, now this is just stupid at this point.
Exactly. It's just to me, Audra is digging herself a hole. She's digging herself a
Let's get
huge
Joshua.
hole here. Hey Josh, she's digging herself a huge hole. And I'm watching her, like even with the whole Tucker thing that's going on, she's trying to hide with Tucker. And then this whole thing with Summer. It's like you're not playing the game right, sis. Like first you gotta get the power first, then you come for everybody else in other avenues. She's not playing this right. See, Lucy Coe, when she infiltrated the Quartermain family on GH, she got the power from Alan first. She owned the Quartermain house first. That's when she started acting stupid. You act stupid once you get the power. You don't start acting stupid before you get the power. That's how this works. That's how that works. You start acting stupid once you get the power, not before. I'm like, Audra, what are you doing? You know, like it's just
No, I get it. I get it. I get it. She's definitely out of pocket with that. Um, no, you know what? Honestly, to tell you the truth, I'm glad we did this because that was definitely a different perspective. That was
thanks,
definitely a different
CK.
perspective. Thank you, ZK. Thank you so much.
So
Oh
that's
my
another
God, I
thing.
appreciate you.
Yeah, a lot of super chats tonight. Let's give James telethon from yesterday.
Yeah, no, that was interesting. I came on there for a little bit, so that was fun.
What did you guys talk about when you were on James's telethon? His telethon live.
We talked about my other private practice, pretty much.
That is a private practice for sure. Very private.
Yeah, it cannot get any more private.
That's a very much so private practice. Very much so private practice. We don't happen. I want to also talk about was GH this week. Um, was when Portia came over. Not Portia, when Anna came over Portia's house. And
Oof.
I talked about it in my review too, but I loved it because Anna has gone soft. She's slipping, capital S. Because when she's like, "I'm so sorry, Curtis," like Sonny would apologize, but Sonny's not doing all that. Like Sonny knows what time it is. Sonny knows what kind of business he's in. He's not. He's just gonna say, "I'm sorry for what happened. If you need anything, I got you." And he's out the door. He's not gonna say, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry, got shot." Like he didn't apologize when Michael got shot. You think you gonna apologize? He apologized when Michael got shot. Yeah. So Anna was like, "I'm so sorry for everything that I've done." Like this double agent over here, and yet she was judging Peter August. But my whole thing is like when Portia, I was so happy when Portia came in because what Portia did was right, in my opinion. So when even Curtis said, you know, I can't be mad at Anna forever, and she's like, I can. And the way she grabbed that food and took it to the back, I was like, Portia, I'm with you. And she said, Anna, can I see you outside? In other words, she said, Anna, don't you come back to my house. Don't you dare come back to my house. Anna, can I see you outside? And she started smiling. She's like, pretty much telling her, sis, don't come back to my house ever again with this crap. What are your
Now
thoughts
see,
on that?
now see, that's and that's why I went to sit there and really. Now I feel like I have to kind of choose my words carefully. Um, that's why I want to sit there and get on. So normally I don't like Portia, right? But I understood it in that moment. I understood it in that moment because it was like, her husband could have died, you know? And yeah, people were sitting there saying, well, it's not like Anna shot Curtis or whatever. It's not like she meant it to happen. But my whole thing is like, if you sit there and flip that around, and then if that was one of your loved ones, you're not really sitting there thinking You're thinking with a lot of emotions. So I felt like that was a normal response. You know, it's like, yo, listen, you and him, y'all track danger, or whatever, and my loved one got caught in the crossfire. Like that's insane. And now you sit there walking over here talking about, oh, we're gonna sit there. You want to apologize. You want to apologize to make yourself feel better. You want to absolve your own guilt. That's
The
something
thing,
else that irked me.
the thing is, I know everyone's coming for Portia, but at the same time, like Portia's the one who has to deal with the aftermath. Sonny and Anna are moving out their lives. Sonny's going to the next dangerous shipment, like
Yep.
he always does, and Anna's going to the next WSB adventure like shows. Anna will cry for a little bit, but she'll move on. Trust me. And listen. Anna left her child behind to go work for the WSB. Let's remember that guy. She left Robin behind. Okay. Robin didn't know who Anna was. She was just like 5 or 6 years old. Okay. So that should tell you something about these people. Sonny was still in the business even after Michael got shot, even after Morgan got blown up, even after Avery got kidnapped, even after who else? God, there got to be something else. There's probably a lot more. But that's why Portia is mad because this is just eating breakfast for them. For the two, for Sayana. This is like a
Yeah.
regular day. This is eating breakfast for them. But for Portia, this is her life that she has to deal with now. Curtis, the frustration, the him not wanting to be alone, him telling Trina, "I'm not your father. Leave me alone. I can't be a father to you," which is so stupid. Like you just went through the whole thing of her finding out your daughter, and then you just act. I get he was upset in the moment, but not really the best words to say. But Portia's the one dealing with the aftermath, not Sonny or Anna. And now I'm starting to feel less sympathy for Anna now at this point because she was so judgmental of Peter August, so judgmental of all these people, yet she did all these things behind the scenes. So, and Sonny, this is just another day for him. This is just another day for Sonny. That's all this is. Oh, and that's another thing was when Nina came to Carly's restaurant. When Nina said to Carly, "What do I do? What do I do?" And then when Carly said to Nina, "I don't know how that's my problem." And even when Carly said that, the real thing that Carly was really saying behind all that was, "Well, sis, this is what happens to get involved with mobsters. And if you didn't want to get involved with mobsters, maybe don't sleep with my husband. Maybe you want to be in this situation right now." Like that's what Carly was really saying behind this.
Yes, and I'm so glad that you caught that. What's good, Tracy Steves? I'm so glad that you caught that because I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking the exact same thing.
And then for Carly to give Nina a grace and was like, okay, well, here's what you got to do all this, which I thought was nice in the end. But you know, because here's the thing, to me, and I said in my review, Nina is a great value version of Kate Howard. That's what I'm starting to realize now. This is a great value because Sonny has a type. Sonny has a type that he's always had throughout GH. Sophisticated woman who's too posh for the mob. You know, like Carly was technically not that woman. She was very gritty. She was messy. You know, when they first met, and so was Claudia Zakara. And like I said, they were both played by the same actress, which is interesting. But you know, Sonny liked that sophisticated woman, whether it was Claire Walsh, whether it was Alexis when she was a lawyer, whether it was Kate Howard, whether it was Brenda Barrett. They all seem to be prototypes of Brenda, I feel like, down the line pretty much. But that's what Sonny liked. He liked that kind of woman. So, but Carly was the only woman who could really stand his world and stand the test of time. She was the only woman that really could. So when Nina did all that, and Carly was like, I don't know how this is my problem. In other words, well, sis, you slept with the mobster. This is what happens. Like, what do you think happens? And I understood Carly. This is the one time I understood Carly that moment because Nina is a little naive. She's a little naive, I think, to Sonny's world, even still to this day. She's very naive. You know, the Keisha Great value is.
I'm glad that you peeped that comment.
Well, she is a great value version of Kate Howard because Nina is doing the same thing Kate Howard is doing. She also runs Crimson like Kate Howard. She's literally that prototype of that woman that Kate Howard was. I feel like once Kate Howard died, they were looking for someone to fill the shoes, and Nina became that woman. Nina became that woman all of a sudden. But like I said, Carly, I understood her throwing that shade in the moment before she gave Nina some grace and told her what was up. You know what I mean? She's like, "How are we gonna keep the children safe, Carly? What do I do?" Carly was like, "I don't know how that's my problem."
And see that, and that was my whole. I mean, Brent, yes, Carly, and then even before that, you had it almost seemed like it was an intervention. So you had Alexis, you had yeah, I think you had it was Alexis, and it was
Olivia?
somebody else. Hmm?
Was it Olivia?
Olivia, yes, when they were sitting there talking to Nina about like, because Nina was sitting there wondering like, what am I gonna do? Sonny's in jail, yada yada yada, and Alexis like, yo, listen, this is just how it is in Sonny's world. Like you have to understand that. And I felt like for those past couple of days, you had so many people sitting there saying the same thing. You had Ava sitting there saying, well, okay, well, he can get out tomorrow, but then what about next 2 weeks ago? Like what's going to happen after that? And it's like, after a while, even Ava just gave up. Ava was like, you know what, listen, I told you I was going to tell you, you do you at this point. Nina, I just,
And you know what? Candace Mack, she was on James Live. She made a good point about Nina, where she said, in some ways, the writers have kind of dumbed Nina down because Nina, that life of crime, she's kind of sort of used to it. Like, like your aunt is Lisa Ulbrich. Your mom was, what was that, Madeline Woods. So it's like, it's not like nefarious things are just not a part of the itinerary of people that she knows. I mean, her cousin was Brett, for crying out loud. I mean, Brett literally stole an embryo and gave birth to Lulu and Dante's baby. I mean,
but it's not the same scale though. That's the problem. It's not the same scale as Sonny. Sonny is like, people coming after him. People are, his family's in danger. He's constantly getting arrested.
But Oprah
It's
is on that. Oprah is kind of on that type of time. She planted the bomb in the lab to fake Robin's death. That sounds similar
but was
scale.
but wasn't Nina in a coma though
Okay, she
in that
was.
whole
Okay, she
time?
was. She
So
was. She
yeah,
was.
Sonny is an entirely different scale, um, than even like Madeline Reed. You know,
Okay. I can see that a little bit. I can see a little bit. I can see a little bit. Like I said, I was just glad that Carly. There was one time I was like, Carly, I'll let it slide because you kind of right because Nina's out here like, what do I do? How do I keep myself safe? And I was like, Nina, like you're dating a mobster. Like this is kind of the life. This is kind of what happens. And this is what I say.
and what about?
Sometimes people get. Go ahead.
I was going to say, what about Dex and him not properly disposing the evidence that he thought that was going to put away Sonny? Yeah,
I just want to know, like, what is Dex's purpose at this point on the show? Like, that's what I really want to know. Like, what is his purpose? Is he Courtney's
besides being
son?
Jason 2.0.
Yeah, like, is he Courtney's son at this point? Like, which? I would like that. I think that would be a nice little twist if he was the son of Courtney and AJ. That would be a nice little twist. Because I think it's possible they could have had a kid, right? It's possible they could have had a kid. It's possible, you know. Um, because it's just like, what is Dex's purpose now at this point? Like, if you're not putting away Sonny, you're just kissing on Jocelyn all the time. What are the purpose are you serving at this point? And if Sonny, I think the reason why they haven't done Sonny turning on Dex because it will literally give the whole Goodbye Detective 2.0 storyline. Like literally, I'll never forget that. So that was a good storyline where he goes, "Really, Sonny? What about your kids? You really gonna shoot me here in front of your house?" And Sonny was like, "Goodbye Detective."
The good old Bob Guza days.
Those,
The good old
those,
Bob Guza days.
I miss them. You know what? I took them for granted. I apologize, soap opera gods. Please forgive me. I didn't know what I was saying at the time. I didn't know. Like it was GH was an event at that time. It was an event. It was an
Yeah.
event. It was an event to watch GH. When we had the Metro Court storyline, it was an event to watch GH at that time. I mean,
The of course the water pathogen.
pathogen.
I'm always gonna, yeah. I'm just never gonna forget that.
That
Did
was
you
the
even
last
did
one.
you bring it? Yeah, they had Todd, they had Blair at some point. Like it was great.
And then there was a whole thing where Tomas Delgado looked like Lorenzo Alcazar, and so they were going to Landview to try to figure out what was going on. But then that's when the lawsuit thing happened, and then they dropped it. Which I would have loved to see what would have been the turnout of that. Were they the same person? Were they twins? You know? And that was a way for them to bring Alcazar kind of like sort of back. I don't know what they were going to do with that. It was so many places, and then so many places the storyline could have gone. So many places, and it's just the Bob Goes days I took them for. Well, technically that was Ron Carlotta days, but the water pathogen was the last Mohicans. That was the last good umbrella storyline that GH had, in my opinion, where everyone was involved. You know, you don't we don't get that stuff anymore. The Bob Goose days, like I said, I took them for granted. I really took them for granted. I apologize. I apologize to everyone in this chat. I apologize on the Boston Rising. I took those days for granted. Sorry about that, guys. I took it for granted.
Now I did ask a question yesterday, and I don't remember if you actually said or what your thoughts was because we got sidetracked a couple of times.
Mhm.
Um, you know what I'm talking about. But SoapNet, would you want that back? Would you want SoapNet to be back?
I think so. I think so. Especially now we're in streaming. I feel like they could do a streaming app of SoapNet. Like especially now they could. Somebody could literally do this and it could work. But there's also the problem with the rights and stuff, right? So days would not go on there because they're on Peacock. That's the problem. Everyone's in a streaming deal, right? The big soaps right now currently seem you can't have a soap app without some of the current soaps on it. And these networks are so butthurt. Everyone's so butthurt about copyright and all these type of stuff these days.
Yeah.
It just takes the fun out of stuff. For me personally, like soaps used to have songs or montages. When characters would be going through deep situations, they would have music and songs, but now they don't. Now we have
Yes.
main singing because copyright purposes. Which that storyline is so ridiculous, but we'll get into that in just a moment. We'll get to that just a moment. But
Yeah, I didn't think about a streaming service just as like a streaming service would be better. I was sitting there thinking like also maybe even just like I don't know, like HBO, like on a you think it'd be better on a streaming service or just like on like a
streaming at this
cable
point,
channel?
definitely streaming at this
Okay.
point because
Because
no
it'd be
one, I
cheaper,
don't know,
right?
yeah, like or like if it could be part of like they could bring back as a channel if they wanted to, but it'd have to be underneath Paramount or Discovery, one of those that's already one of those streaming services for it to work. I mean, because SoapNet, people didn't appreciate SoapNet for what it was
No,
back in
they
the
did
day.
not.
We did not appreciate it. It had so many good shows. We had Another World. We had the current soaps. We had Ryan's Hope. I used to watch Ryan's Hope every day at
That's
5:30.
what it was called. That's what it was called. I
With
knew
a
it was something else
baby
forgetting yesterday.
intro. With the baby intro.
Guiding Light, of course.
Port Charles was on. I'm still watching Port Charles Fate. I just finished Time in the Bottle. I'm watching Fate right now here and there on YouTube.
You watching
But
what?
Port Charles, like Port Charles had
Yeah,
Time in the
yeah, no, no, I'm
Bottle.
talking about no. Oh, talking about okay, that's the one.
I'm
I
watching
was
Fate.
wondering which. Okay.
Fate right now is what I'm watching. We didn't appreciate it for the gloriousness that it was. I mean, literally a channel dedicated for soap fans. And in 2011 went off the air because I guess just no money or people aren't watching soaps anymore. But I think they should bring it back on. So what do you think about it? You think they should?
I would love it. And see, my whole thing is like I didn't just appreciate the fact it was more convenient, right? Like, yeah, you could sit there and watch it at 8, you could watch it on the weekends or whatever, and that was great. But I also appreciate it because they had their own unique stuff. They had like being Erica, being Erica. They had um
I want to be a soap
what's-
star.
exactly. I want to be a soap star.
That
They
was like the
had
version
like
of
a
top
Dana.
model.
Yes, exactly. They also had like a day in the life of a soap actor, whatever. They had soap talk with Lisa Rinna and Ty Treadway. They had their own unique stuff that I thought was pretty cool. I mean, yeah, it was you were gonna watch the same stuff as today, but it was like they had their own. At least they was trying to do stuff that was
Britt
uniquely
was on I
different
Want to Be a
from
Soap Star,
that.
by the way. Sorry about that. But Britt was
Yes.
on. Actually, Britt was on I Want to Be a Soap Star. She was runner up. She was like, I think runner up or something like that. Yeah. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, no, no. It's just like I said. I thought it was cool. I think if we didn't live in a world where, like you said, everything was so much copyright this and copyright that, because think about it, they had Y&R and they had GH on the same channel. You understand just how crazy that is now? Like copyright is so crazy. It's like even being a YouTuber, just talking about something. Sometimes your video will get flipped.
Yeah, dang, yeah. It,
So
it takes the fun out of stuff. I feel like that whole copyright stuff. Nikisha made a good point where she said she thinks it'll be realistic for the older soaps to just be uploaded to their parent company's streaming services. Like All My Children would just go under like Disney, Hulu, um, Guideline as well turns under like Paramount and CBS, and then Passions under Peacock or something. I
Peacock,
think that,
yes.
that would probably be more realistic and more doable because, like I said, everyone's so butthurt about copyright these days and who owns what, who does this. It does suck the fun out of things. Even like I said, soaps don't even do songs anymore. Like when the characters would have deep reflection moments, you print out through the window, and you hear the montage music, and you shift to the other character. We don't get that kind of music no more. Now we get Eddie Main, like I said, on GH singing, which I'm not gonna go into that right now. But that's my whole thing. Everyone's so butthurt about it. So like I said, it takes out a lot of the fun of just soaps. But like I said, I wish they could. And even with SoapNet, they could upload all that stuff on Hulu. I want to be a soap star, all this stuff. Like that's just because it's streaming. Why can't they put that stuff back? Like it's streaming at this point. You know what I mean? It's past stuff. We can go look at it. Um, SoapNet was so good. General Hospital Night Shift could go underneath on
I
Hulu.
totally forgot about Night Shift. I totally forgot about Night Shift. That was actually a really good show.
General Hospital Night Shift was so on point. It was like that's the thing. General Hospital has had three spinoffs: The Young Marrieds, Port Charles, and then Night Shift. No one remembers The Young Marrieds. That was like in the summer. Nobody was paying attention to that. It didn't even pan out. They were trying to make it like a just a spinoff show, but it didn't work. It didn't work at that
Did you
time.
ever watch it though?
No, I didn't watch Young Marrieds. No, I didn't watch
Uh,
it. I just know about it though. I know about it though. I don't think I have anything. I don't even think they have any videos or anything about it out there. But they have Port Charles at Night Shift. Night Shift was just everything. And see, this is stuff they could put Night Shift underneath Hulu. Like it's not that hard.
do you still watch the other stuff though, like Hollyoaks and um, like the
EastEnders,
sci-fi?
all this stuff. I do. I do. It's been tough, obviously, with school, but yes, I have. I do still watch them. I do still watch them.
There's another one. I don't know if you watch it. I think it's called like Corn Street or something like that.
Coronation Street. Coronation Street.
Coronation Street. I keep effing that. You ever watched it though before?
I've seen one episode, but I already had like 9 soaps on the agenda, so I can't add no more. I have a waiting list right now.
I do have the wait list right now. I love it.
I got a waiting
I
list right now
love
for
it.
soaps. We're at capacity. I got a waiting list, but I mean, like I said, like because YouTube has all the past soaps and all the past episodes, all these past shows, like a day with Wally Kurth, like they had on SoapNet, a day with Wally Kurth. They had that. They had Soap Talk with Lisa Rinna. Um, but the problem is though, is that soaps. I think one of the reasons why soaps won't survive is because people don't have time to watch the same show 5 days a week. Even I
Yeah.
feel like on streaming, it's a struggle for people to do that. People are so busy. Rent is like $8,000 a month now, y'all. So people got to work. People got to work. So nobody has
That's
time to be
exactly why
watching
some
those
people.
shows. Go
That's
ahead.
exactly why some people can only watch some soaps. Some people can only watch one. Some people can only watch two. Um, I feel like for the most part, like unless you love all of them, or you're a soap reviewer, you're not gonna watch all four. You're just you're just not gonna do
True.
it.
That's true. That's true. Because like I said, it's tough to do that, to watch so many of them. Even now, like I've had to cut back on so many. I really don't even have the time. I had to cut back, like, or if I'm popping on the soaps, I'm watching Thursday and Friday's episode, and that's it. Like I'm watching maybe just Friday to catch up. That's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
'Cause it's a lot to catch up on. Like I said, 5 days a week is kind of a lot. That format doesn't work as well. Like EastEnders, I know they're a British show, but they're on 4 days a week, right? And I think at one point in time they were on 3 days a week. Um, so they go back and forth, but that 5 days format doesn't work anymore. Like I hate to say it, it doesn't. People don't have the time because, like I said, when soap started, it was a typical housewife. There was 1930s, 40s, 50s. They had time. They were folding laundry, so they had time to sit there next to the little radio box and like, we return after this moment, and just a moment after these messages to find out what happens next. Will Dollar get the surgery? Like they had time to watch this stuff, but now, like I said, it's changed. People are way too busy,
Workers in the
and
chat.
someone who's just so morally gray.
Yeah. Yeah. I
A
love it.
morally gray character is in the chat right
Absolutely. Auto 20 is in the chat.
now. But I mean, that's the whole thing. I just think that 5 days a week. Well, let me ask you this: what do you think if soaps went down to 3 days a week?
Oof. I think here's the thing. I think it'd be easier for people to actually keep up because I seriously I do think it'll be easier for people to keep up. Like even 5 days a week for sometimes some people are just like, they may miss an episode, they may skip a couple episodes because it's a lot. It's a commitment.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's a commitment. You stop to think about 5 days a week. It's a commitment.
Like, what if they did that? If they did it like maybe Monday through Wednesday or Wednesday through Friday. I know at first people would like try to like struggle to keep up with it, but see, Days is on streaming, so technically I feel like the days of the week kind of almost don't matter anymore. I feel like on streaming, like there's no such thing as time anymore on streaming. I feel like almost, like it's timeless in a sense. But
Also, they also do a little bit different on there though, because there's sometimes like the length of the episodes are different. Sometimes it's 41 minutes, sometimes it's like 28 minutes and stuff like that. So it's like
really,
it's also yeah, I've noticed that. 'Cause I'm not gonna lie, there's some days when I get home and I'm sitting there looking at it, it's like 28 minutes, so it's like, all right, cool. I'm good. I can sit there and watch this stuff and maybe watch like a Star Wars like show or something like that because I know it's only gonna be 28 minutes.
right,
Notice
right.
that.
That's what I'm wondering, because it's like if they did it, if they were scaling back, could they write better stories? I mean, could they give the right people right type of airtime? Would they be able to like cut back on production budgets? Because I know that was the biggest thing with soaps, is that like that's what really was a killer of soaps. It got too expensive. You're doing this 5 days a week, so all these hours that you're paying people, and then all the production and all the staff, and then the thing you have to pay to be on the air and all this stuff, like all these things start to add up, and after a while, it's like it especially when people stopped watching as much, it was harder to maintain. It was a lot harder for the networks to maintain, for the everyone and all that stuff, to pay all the staff and the crew. It got harder.
Yeah, and I get that, and also I mean I don't know if this is relatable, but it's like you look at streaming services shows versus like regular network shows that are like 22 episodes long as opposed to 10 to 8 episodes long.
Yeah.
There's smaller episodes, but it's more quality that you're getting.
Right,
So
right. And that's the thing too, is like soaps have been going on for years and years and years and years on, and the whole point is just for it to keep going on and on. But I'm just wondering, what if they just, like, Days going to Peacock was the smartest thing they could have done, even though people didn't
but they
like
didn't
it
have a
because
choice.
it was just
Hey, let's be honest. It
So
wasn't
that's
even an
fair.
option at that point.
But you know what? Here's the thing. It was the best thing they could have done, even though they had no choice. Well, that was the best non-choice they could have had, if that makes sense, right? Because one, everyone's going to streaming anyways. Two, it allows people to not miss an episode to catch up. I mean, everything's going to streaming anyways, so it didn't matter. And on top of that, they can be more flexible how they tell their storylines. Like even when I saw like what was it? Xander used the word cuckold. I was like, oh, we're saying that now on TV. Like, okay, like I was like, all
Yeah,
right.
I remember when EJ asked me, you said at first, and I was like, I'm sorry, what did you just say?
I was like, okay, yeah. It's like see, they have more flexibility. And see, and this is another thing with Days that I appreciate is like, okay, like the guy who plays John Black's father was the guy who played Dick Van Dyke, which I've never seen that show before, but I heard the name. And rumor is that that the actress who plays John Black, that's his neighbor. He got him on the show, which is fine. That's cool. It is what it is. But the thing is, stunt casting is actually good for soaps. Jack Hay, who plays Paulina, was stunt casting originally, and now she's like a regular in the show. Stunt casting and having these big names is good because it helps to save the show. And I think that Carlotti understands the business aspects of soaps too. Like you have to have those things there so the show can stay afloat. You didn't notice this, but I don't know if you remember the episode where Alex was was in the restaurant with the real estate guy, and then Stephanie came in. And I remember that guy. He's on a reality show on Bravo. His name is Josh Flagg, and he's a real estate agent. He's a very, very
Yes.
famous agent. And that was smart because when these people come on the show, they're bringing their fan base with them. And the hope is that their fan base stays to see everything else on the show, you know? And so that was a good marketing ploy that, oh, I didn't know that was his real name. Okay, I didn't know it was his real name. But like I said, it was a good marketing ploy for Carvelotti to do that because the soaps are struggling. And I think now that he's on Peacock, he can be more edgier. Yes, I don't said he can be more edgier and have more morally gray characters. Yes, yes, yes. So I
What's
mean,
up to think about? You had that whole threesome scene because it was on Peacock.
it was on Peacock. It was on Peacock because like that's why I just feel like maybe the other soaps could benefit. Well, more so GH could benefit from streaming. Maybe they could.
But do you think that people will be ready? Because think about it. Think about when Days went on Peacock. How many people was there to be like, I can't believe you did this. You need to bring it back. And there were some people that was really sitting there thinking that it was going to come back on the network. And I just sit there and tell people, no, this show is not going to be on at all. Like, what part are you not under?
Well, those
Oh,
are the older viewers, and I hate to say this, but I feel like
yeah, no.
yeah, you want to retain your longtime viewers, but like at the same time, a show has to always bring on new viewers because nobody lives forever, right? You have to bring on new viewers at some point. And so I get those people were very upset, and I understand you're not used to paying a fee, maybe you have all this stuff going on. Get it, but a show has to bring on new viewers. It has to, and that's the thing with soaps they did back in the day. They brought on new viewers. The problem is I don't hear about new people watching soaps these days, though. I don't hear it. I don't hear a lot of it. Like, okay, in our world, yes, because this is
Yeah,
our world that we're in. This is bubble. This is soap opera bubble.
yes.
But there's no new people really watching soaps. Like, okay, people. I think the last of the Mohicans was like back in '02 to '06, which I was. That's when I came into soaps. I was like part of the last Mohicans, the last new people to be ushered in and watching soaps. And then after that, I haven't heard anything else. Like, when was the last time you heard someone say, "Yeah, I'm a new GH viewer. I started watching since 2015." When have you heard that? Never.
Besides maybe Spiderquake.
Well, he's oh, yeah, okay, okay, yeah, so he's one of them. He's one of the few
Yeah.
outliers that we have. And of course,
Mm-hmm.
you started watching all the other soaps too, but you were already a soap viewer though. So it was like,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
even count that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't even count that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're already a soap viewer. So, but
And of
no
course,
new
my
people.
favorite soap that I started, of course, my first soap I started watching was More Like Live, even though DC loves to sit
You
there
know,
and act
you're the
like,
reason why they got canceled because you weren't really watching. You know, but like I said, there's no new viewers coming on the soaps. There's no. I don't know. Have you heard of any new people watching it since
nope,
2023? Or
nope. But to be fair, I don't. Most of the people I usually sit there and talk to, like even that, like some customers that walk in, it's like the older customers, you know. So
and that's the thing.
yeah,
Like, they haven't drawn in any new viewers and younger viewers, and the problem is too. Every time I talk to people about a soap opera, they always think that it's this cheesy stuff. It's like, and I'm like telling people it's not as cheesy as you really think it is. Like it's really not. Okay, maybe Days a little bit, but like the rest are not as cheesy. It's not this thing that you have in your mind. But that's the thing; they have to be able to bring in new viewers. And Days is doing that right now. Carvelotti is understanding that. Like he's bringing in Jack Keg, he's bringing in Josh Flagg from Bravo. He has to do those things. Like, or when he brought in Kyle Richards from Real Housewives, he has to do that. Because people may not like that, but if he doesn't do that, the show really won't survive. And
Yeah.
they're bringing their viewer bases with them, and when the show needs it to survive. GH, I don't know if the writers on GH right now understand that. YNR, they definitely don't understand that. They've got
Nope.
international money as with B&B, so they're good. They don't need to worry about none of that. They, they don't need to worry about none of that. They got international money, so that's why we're gonna keep seeing the same things over and over again. But they gotta have it.
See, that's why I was kind of confused when they brought in Dick Van Dyke, because I was just like, I mean, I felt like maybe they were just doing it because, like, all right, like he's older and stuff like that. They want to sit there and do something nice for him. He might have been on the show at one point. It was like, hey, come on and do a favor, whatever, come through. But like you said, I really thought there was like, they could have literally brought in anyone else.
But you
Why
wanna know
him?
why? But you wanna know why? Because think about it. He's a household name. So if he goes on Days of Our Lives, he'll end up on People's Magazine. Someone will see it in the store. Boom, da da dum dum dum.
That's true.
That's why.
That's true.
That's
That's
why they
true.
went with him.
That no, that's true.
That's why they'll go with him. Because like I can't remember when it was when Franco was on GH. Everybody heard about that time. James Franco, he was on GH.
Yeah.
Oh
Hmm.
man,
Yep.
world.
Yep.
That was an event. You see, like I said, back then GH was an event. It was an event. Every episode was an event.
Do
He
you
brought
think
in the
that
viewers.
you think that if they you think if GH went to streaming that people will watch?
Only if they change things up, right? So obviously, we've all been complaining about the too many people on GH. They seem like they start taking care of that, but
Yeah.
GH would need to go back to its roots. It would need to feel like an event because General Hospital was that younger. It's General Hospital. A lot of people, younger people, watch General Hospital. A lot of younger people. It was that young soap that got you because
Hmm.
the way they wrote the stories and the way they had the storylines, intrigue. ABC Daytime was for the younger people. You know what I mean? I felt like at least. And then CBS Soap was for everybody's grandmother. And then Days Right Lot, and then NBC Daytime was just whoever was gonna watch. You know what I mean? So, for example, okay, so Nikisha makes a good point. Does GH still do commercials? Do you guys remember when GH had this commercial? Everybody's got their something. Everybody's got their something. You remember? And the guy from Sopranos did it. He was like, power, respect, da da da. Everybody's got their something, and I've got my General Hospital. You remember that?
I feel like
I'm gonna
I
send it to you.
no,
I would send it to you. Dude, it was like everybody see ABC Daytime had the and see in those commercials they had celebrities come on and be like power, trust, love. Everybody's got their something, and I've got all my children. Like those celebrities bringing those commercials help brought
yeah.
and that's what ABC Daytime always did. And I think soaps are missing that. Like you have to find more creative ways to bring new people in. On a show. Like All My Children made history when they had the first transgender storyline out of all the soaps. Technically, the city kind of did it back in the '90s, but not really. So All My Children was the first to do it. That brought in new viewers. When they had the first war torn veteran on All My Children, they had I forgot his name was Gr something, and he had a facial disfigurement or whatever at the time, right? And you never seen that on soaps. They didn't cover it up with makeup. It was there, plain as day, right? That made them a history. Brought in some new viewers. You know what I'm saying? Like soaps have to be willing to do stuff like that instead
You
of
think they got lazy or they got cheap or both?
I think PC culture too. They're very scared of what they can and can't do. Jerry Martinez, yes, that was it. That was it, just Jerry Martinez. And but they did get lazy. They got very complacent. Like when we got the Taraya storyline, everyone's like, Taraya, y'all got it for 2 seconds. This baby that we've never seen, this birth that we've never seen, these things that we've never seen. But I think they got complacent. I think a lot of the soaps got complacent. I also think that they're not challenging themselves anymore. I almost feel like the writers just want the show to die. Like I just feel like sometimes it's the vibes I get. Like even when I watch Sonny on GH, Maurice Bernard is kind of still hanging in there, but he's like, I feel like if they let him go, he'd be okay with it.
You think he's just phoning it in?
I feel like he's setting himself up for the next step of his career, and that's why we're seeing State of Mind, all these things. He's making his transition out of self slowly, slowly making his transition out of self. You know what I mean? Which I get it, but that's the
Yeah.
thing. Oh, go ahead.
No, no, no. I was gonna sit there and say, and then of course you got people who they're not getting paid as much as they used to. Like you got Laura Wright, who is also a yoga instructor. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, it is what it is. That's the truth of the matter. You know?
That's the thing too. It's like I said, with them not bringing in newer viewers, because yeah, Sonny is a did a dom of GH, but you have to set up the writing for the next did a dom of GH. You're not doing that, and that's why now when these shows lose their patriarchs, the families look very confusing now. Like the Quartermains don't have Edward or Lila or Alan, or hell, barely even Tracy or even Monica, and Ned is just not. I like Wally Kurth as an actress, but I just don't get patriarch material from him. That's just not. I don't see it on GH. I don't see it on Days. I don't see it on neither. And funny enough, he he the Kyriakis and the Quartermains are both now in a scramble. Who is the next head? And the writers didn't set that up properly.
Yeah.
You see, they didn't set that up in neither. And this is what I'm saying. Like they have to set up the next generation for the writing very well. And I talk about this all the time because if you don't, um, you can't just ride the coattails of one character forever and ever. Amen. You just can't do that. At some point in time, like for example, I Want Like to Live, you had Asa, but we all knew Clint was next in line. We all knew that, right? And then Clint came in and assumed that. It's almost like you had Asa, but if we didn't have Clint, what were we gonna do? Because Bo didn't care about Buchanan Enterprises. You know what I mean? Bo never cared about that stuff. He was so hands off. You know, but like you have to have the next generation set up correctly. Like Y&R, they're kind of doing that a little bit, but like we
But
need that.
whoa,
What was that?
but whoa.
There's a couple. I guess for Victoria, maybe you could say as a next sort of option, sort of. But that's my whole thing. Like I said, I just feel like the writing just needs to be set up for the next generation, so we can be ushered into it, and new viewers can come in and enjoy the soap. But like for example, Brook and Ridge. What if Brook and Ridge want to retire? Then what?
Yeah. Oh,
Then what?
yeah.
Then what do you guys have? That's literally the selling point of B&B is Brook and Ridge. Yeah, you got Liam, Steffi, and Hope, which I guess that's their next generation they're trying to ease us into, but it's the same crap though. And like when I say next generation, I don't mean the same crap. I mean something like completely different. Like we get the next generation, but it's something a little bit different. Does that make sense?
So like, okay, Tony
A lot tonight.
on no, no.
Go ahead, man. Go
Tony
ahead.
on Days. They never really set him up to be the next patriarch. So it's like, all right, I guess they'll sit there and they'll give EJ by default, but it's like,
It really should have been Tony. It should have been Tony
yeah.
because I don't know if Tal Penglis just doesn't want that type of responsibility, but literally his character was set up for that. Like he was a Phoenix incarnate of Stefano. So it's just so weird that his character is not trying to vie for Demerit Enterprises. He's just a background patriarch. So, what are your thoughts on that, though? Even though I know you're
I mean,
still
like,
going to be watching in.
like I said, I feel like he's just a default patriarch. You know, I don't, I do feel like Tony would be a better patriarch. And that's the same thing with the characters. It's like once Victor's gone, it's like I guess they could sit there and have Maggie, but it's like you know. Thank you, Kyrie's. Kyrie says Victoria is nowhere on Victor's level. Adam can be.
Okay, okay. I still think it would be Victoria, but okay, I kind of see where Kyrie's coming from. I was gonna say is that when it comes to the Kyriakis family, even if they don't have another patriarch or matriarch of a family, but like create families of this next generation that can usher those new viewers in. Like, okay, the Price Carver clan, they're a mixture. That's actually a good solid unit. It's mixed up. There is no exact head of the family, but it works. And that's what I'm saying. It's like the writers just got to be willing to try new things that are gonna attract us as viewers. Because let me ask you this: what was the one storyline that really attracted you to GH when you first started watching?
Um, I don't know if it was one of the I don't know if it was really so much of a story, but just more of a character. It wasn't really a story that actually attracted me. It was a character, Sonny.
What was it about his character though?
He just seemed he was just very like he just was very like dark and just kind of like badass, whatever. It's like he just had this presence where it was like, even though it's like normally I would sit there and think, oh, it's a cheesy soap, or whatever. It's like, no, this dude just he just gives no ass, and I'm here for it, you know. That's just some of the way he sit there and just talk to people. Sometimes, just like, bro, this is a soap opera. Because even some of my friends would sit there and come in with like, you know, they sit there and watch soap opera, sit down and watch the soap operas. But it's like, I like that character. I like
Mm.
that character. So you just here's the thing, and that's the thing. I used to have this couple used to come in my job, and the wife used to always love watching General Hospital, and the guy's like, oh, I just like Sonny. There's something about Sonny that's like, even guys can sit there and be like, you know what, I like that character. It's kind of like Luke, if that makes sense.
Right, right, right. No, it does. It does. It does. I mean, that was the thing is for me is like my thing was One Life to Live at the time, and I know you don't know too much about One Life to Live. If you did, it wouldn't have gotten canceled. But for me, it was One Life to Live at the time because the storylines. I think it was Star and Cole that kind of like drew me in. But it was really what was it? It was Todd's execution. Boom, that was the storyline that drew me in. It was Todd's execution where he was on the Victor Lord Jr. who was on the thing. But anyway, Todd's execution, and he was on the thing. He's like, and they're putting the lethal injection in, and it's like the whole Margaret Cochran's alive, and they're trying to rush her into the prison, and they had a way of writing that story, like they just kept you on the edge of your seat, and that was the one thing that I feel like ABC Daytime was good at was bringing the action. They brought the action on their soaps back at that time. Um, like I said, it captivated me. It captivated me, and like I said, I haven't felt really captivated by soaps. Days has actually done a little bit of captivating because Days is actually writing modern day storylines because they understand they need to bring in order to bring in a new audience. It has to be relatable, something they can relate to, and something also that captures them. Because I don't think Days is trying to capture an older audience anymore. I think they're done. Like older people that say, "Oh, I don't like this storyline," or "I can't afford 49 for Peacock," they're over it. Like, okay, see ya. I feel like Days is at that point. I hate to say it, you know what I mean? But I hate to say it. It's like they realize y'all are not going to help save the show at this point. We need a newer, fresher audience to come in because that's what's going to save us at this point, especially while we're on streaming. So
Yeah, no, I would definitely sit there and say they are definitely doing it the best as far as that is concerned. Just keeping things fresh. GH, GH has gotten lazy. There's just no other way to sit there and put it. Most of them have gotten lazy, especially when it comes towards the edge of your seat kind of thing. Now, with the CBS soaps, I feel like my whole thing is like with CBS soaps, always felt like it was more towards an older crowd,
it really
you
was, yeah.
know? Like When I Live was definitely on more of a younger crowd, definitely with GH. So, and I think that's probably another thing that actually drew me to the show. Was it more like vibrant and young, you know,
And All My
and it had
Children was like a
suspense.
mixture. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, and One Like to Live was more of, it's like also suspense as well. Now you said All My Children.
All My Children was like a mixture. I feel like it was like an older and younger crowd. Like it was something like a grandfather would watch with his granddaughter sitting on the couch or something. Like I just felt like it had that mixture. And then Would Like to Live was like, youthful, cool, edgy, and like we're diverse. And then GH was like it was giving that Martin Scorsese stuff going on. You know what I mean? At 3 o'clock. That's it. That's the thing with GH. That's why GH beat Guiding Light every time the ratings, because Guiding Light was after school special, and GH was bringing the drama. Because a lot of men watch GH. A lot
Yeah,
of men watch GH. I know that for a fact. That was the man soap with GH.
that was yeah, and that's and it's funny too because we always sit there and joke about that. Like that was the one soap opera that a man could be like, you know what? Yeah, well, GH. I mean, I don't know about those other, stuff or whatever. I don't feel like GH is really a soap opera, so it's I can let that fly.
Sonny and Jason made it okay for the men. So I watch GH. They've got a mobster as the hero of the show.
But see, is that, and the sad thing is that you're not wrong about that. Like I said, sometimes my friends used to come over, it's like, and they would say to me like, "Oh, I like this character, Sonny, or I like Jason." There's something about Jason that's like very badass and stuff. So it's like, they made it work. They made it work, and plus they have
It
the
worked. It
shootout.
worked.
So.
It worked because that was the thing. Like it was just like that's how you're able to get into it. And I see, like I said, like Days and Passions at that time was like supernatural, all this other stuff, and it was just a mixture of a crowd. It was an eclectic crowd. Like you weren't really sure who was watching those two shows. I wasn't sure what the demographic was, at that time, to be honest. And Y&R, Young and the Restless, was like everyone's grandmother was watching Young and the Restless. I was watching Young and the Restless. That was like everyone's grandmother. And then Guiding Light was everyone's great, 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 great grandmother. So, but like I said, that was the thing that ABC Daytime brought. They brought this youthful thing to it. Like I said, GH was a man soap. Everyone watched GH. Everyone know you go to turn at 3 o'clock to watch it. So.
I will sit there and say one thing about Y&R though is the intro music. It's the only. I mean, out of the four, it's the only one. Well, I guess Days also, but I feel like with Y&R, I feel like more people would sit there and be like, they would remember it. They would
Because it's never
remember it.
changed. It's never changed.
Yeah,
It's never changed. Them and Days have never changed their intro,
yeah.
which is probably
They
probably one of the smartest things they could have done.
GH is well, they went through so many different intros. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not bad, but at the same time, it's like it's not iconic like Y&R is.
I mean, let's be real. The iconic GH intro is the da da
Yeah,
da
yeah. Is that the one that came out in 2003?
What was that?
Is that the intro that came out in 2003?
It was 2003 to 2009, and then Luke got up in the end where all the guys are sitting in black.
Yes, that one. Yes, that one. That was my favorite.
That goes.
That was my favorite.
With
That
them
was my
songs,
favorite
I don't
because
know what time it was when y'all heard that song.
I'm not gonna honestly tell you the truth. Like back then, I used to sit there and get hyped because I'd be like, "All right, this is gonna be interesting. I'm here for it."
What I used to do back then as a kid? I was so stupid that sometimes I would put like a little black suit and like put it like sit on a chair, like have the chair in front of me like Luke would, and then get up at the end when he would get up. But I would do that sometimes. Just to get the spirit, the mood of it. But like that's what I'm saying. GH was an event. Even the theme song felt like it was an event back then. But now this whole
it's so lazy. But and I sit there and I say this story like all the time. But like back then, like when I used to really be in a GH, like because my favorite character at the wall was like Sonny and Jason. I used to love Jason. I used to love Jason so much that I think I still have a couple of black T-shirts. There was something about Jason that was just so cool. Yeah, and I actually had like at least 20, at least about 10, 20 black T-shirts, just because I saw the character wearing. Like that's not news. Like, all right, they're definitely doing a good job.
Wait, let me ask you a question. Which GH intro is worse? The one we have now or the one we had during 2012? The whole bum 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 bum. You remember that one?
No, yeah, I do, but no, this one's actually still worse. It's so lazy and uninspiring. It's just like it's just pictures. It's like
Yeah, they didn't. It wasn't much honestly going on with GH's intro. I'm like, what? Soaps have gotten very lazy. Even Days of Our Lives, they had a longer intro before, where before it would show the whole hourglass and the blue cloud background, it would show the sands. And I'm sure you've seen it, right? I'm sure you've seen
yeah, I've seen it. Yeah,
it was so good. It was so good. Like honestly, like and see Y&R though, Y&R's actually done pretty good in the intros. They kept the song though. And that's the smart part. They kept the song.
yeah.
And they just changed the visuals. They changed.
Yeah, they updated. Yeah, they updated it, but they kept it. They kept the iconic song.
They kept it, and I mean, Like I said, the soap visuals back in the day, that was something, man. That was something. That was something. Yes, Darby, I do remember Clarence. He was on As the World Turns. He would come on and do a little rapping in those old commercials. I remember Clarence. Those TVS time. I remember Clarence. Yes, I do. I remember Clarence, Darby. I definitely do. But that's my whole thing. Like soaps back then, they just, like I said, it was an event. It wasn't like, and I think that's because the storylines were just gut wrenching at that time. You felt it like I don't know. I don't know. We get into this all the time. I know we talk about this all the time, but it's just it really makes me think about their glory days. But see, this is what I like about Days of Our Lives, that Days of Our Lives is still managing to keep us on the edge of our seat just a little bit. Just a little
Yeah.
bit.
I mean, GH has actually done that too. Oh, also, thank you, Kyrie. Thank you. Kyrie just gifted a membership, so that was awesome. Thank you. Um, but yeah, I mean, I feel like Days have actually done it a lot more, though, to be honest, than GH.
I
GH
agree.
is starting to pick up steam with that, but I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I could be a little bit too harsh. It's weird because sometimes when I'm harsh on GH, people be like, "Oh, GH is not really that bad today," and then when I'm like, "Man, GH is actually okay," people be like, "Usually you're so harsh on GH." I'm like, "No, like I just can't win sometimes."
I think YNR is actually better than GH these days, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah. Well, GH now is actually starting to pick up, but before then, yes.
I mean, because
I'm
there's a
I'm
game.
excited. I'm excited for the B&B stuff. I'm not gonna lie. Eric versus Ridge. I'm here for it.
Okay, I've been taking a break from the Sheila stuff because I really just I need a break from it. I need a break. I need a
Don't
break
let
from the
don't let you
Sheila
know
like
who don't let you know who said hear you say that.
I need a break from the Sheila stuff. I mean, she's broken like 18,000 laws. And it's just like I can't have myself just salted anymore. Like I need coherent and logical storytelling at this point.
Coherent and logical in B&B. You really you really want to sit there and say that? You want to try that again?
This is why this like I said this is why I feel like when I'm watching the soaps like I knew I could not miss Days. I knew Days is gonna bring it. Days and Wine are the two soaps I always just make sure to watch at this point. They're the two that keep my eyes on. And I knew because they had Victor's funeral coming up, it was gonna be good. I knew automatically that was gonna be good. Um, what was your take on that? What was your take on that storyline? How it's been playing out?
I'm liking it so far. I feel like at this point that plane was not an accident. Like Victor's plane going down was not an accident. And I feel like Vivian has something to do about it.
Yeah, maybe they'll
Plus they bring
rewrite
back in
history. Maybe
Teresa.
what was that?
Now so plus they bring in Teresa. I don't know who that character is, so I'm like, all right, that's new to me. So
That was my thing. I was actually shocked to see Teresa. I was like, Teresa came back, and then when Brady was like, I don't want nothing to do with Teresa. I don't want nothing to do with her. And I'm like, if you're having problem with both of the mothers of your children,
maybe it's
maybe
just you.
maybe you're the problem, Poppy.
Yeah,
Just saying,
like
Teresa
you're
might be
the
the
common
problem.
denominator.
You know,
Also, I'm sitting
you
there
might be
looking.
the
I was like,
problem.
bro. I was like, bro, you sitting there acting like she's on Kristen's level.
Yeah, and it looks like they're gonna put her with Alex, which I'm noticing there's a pattern with women in Kyriakis men. Like even with Chloe, she's been with Daniel Jonas, who was Victor's godson and Maggie's son. Then she was also with Philip. She was also with Brady and Xander, who are all cousins. Well, I think Philip is their uncle, which I'm still trying to figure out what. I know that Xander is a Kiriakis, but I don't know what his parental connection is. That's never been clear to me. He's just always been Victor's nephew. But anyways, I'll go
Yeah,
with that
I gotta look that up as
because they
well.
never really clear that up for me, even for all the years I've been watching. But she's been with Philip, she's been with Brady, she's been with Xander, she's been with all three of the Kiriakis men, you know. And I think with Nicole, she's been with Brady, Xander, and Victor. I'm noticing a pattern on her and Chloe, and they both have
Yeah,
children with Daniel Jonas. That's a little bit of a pattern I'm noticing. I'm noticing a
I didn't
pattern.
know that Nicole. I didn't know that Nicole and Brady were actually together at one point.
Yeah, they were. No. Nicole. Yes, they were. They were together at one point. And the guy who plays Rex used to play Brady. He was the original Brady.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah. So
Um, Now, one of the other things I was going to sit there and say before we sit there and wrap this up. Now,
yeah,
there's one point where the feudal's going on, and Alex is meeting Teresa and the other woman. I can't remember her name, but
Chelsea.
huh?
Was it Chelsea?
I think so. Yeah. And he's not there. He's not there talking to Teresa. He's like, "So are you my cousin? Or you're not my cousin?" And I'm just like, "See, that's bad." Okay, because I've always sat there and said, you know, I feel like the family lines are just too close together. Like
Yeah.
they're very blurred. He's like, so you're my cousin? No, you're not my cousin. And Dolly made a comment. He was like, bro, why are you sitting there trying to mac on this chick while your uncle is about to be buried today? Like that's just in bad taste itself. But just like you guys sit there and guess if that's your cousin or not.
Him and Chelsea actually had some chemistry, but then I quickly remember they are related. I saw like there could have been some chemistry there, but I was like, damn, they are related though,
So
because
I mean, so is Alex and Teresa not related? Because
they're
I
not related. They're not related.
okay.
They're not related though. So, well, okay. So really quickly, what did you think about this whole John Black and his father storyline?
I was not surprised because people were snitching telling me that um that was John's black father like for a whole week. And I kind of felt like it was anyway. So it's like when it happened, it was like, oh man, I'm so not surprised because I knew about this for like a whole week. And it wasn't because people were snitching spoiling me, but it's like everyone kind of figured it out, you know?
Do you like it, the storyline?
I don't really care. I mean, it's nice, it's wholesome, and you know, I'm trying to find as much positive as I can, but like just storyline wise, no, I don't care. Really
See,
don't.
see, for me, that storyline, like I said, I feel like the ultimate offense with it because, like I said, you've only just watched Days recently these past few years, but
Yeah.
this is their 10th attempt at John's paternity storyline, and it's at a point where I can't take it seriously. Oh, go ahead and read the comment. Go ahead.
No, Johnson says so. The agent did find coffee after. Yep.
Wait, which
And
agent?
did you watch General Hospital today?
No, I did not.
Oh.
I mean, I kind of knew I was gonna be in the chat. I knew it was gonna be discussed. I knew I was walking
Well,
into.
thank you, Jonathan. Thank you. Yeah, that's literally what they want to find. Which see, that was something else people were Smith is saying. Um, as far as what was going to wind up happening with Sonny and the whole trial and everything. Which again, my bad for you being spoiled. Thank you, Jonathan.
That's okay. I mean, I kind of figured. I kind of figured I was gonna be a little spoiled today, but with the John Black thing, I just figured, like I said, like with that, uh, I I just feel like this is the 10th time they've done this, and like when shows retcon a paternity over and over again, it's hard to take it seriously. Like they did with Jason's paternity on GH, or what are some other shows I can think of where they've just overdone it over and over again. God, I'm trying to think. What are some other shows they've done that? I know there's some other shows. I can't. Okay, there was Young the Restless with Catherine Jill, where Catherine was her mother, then she wasn't her mother, then she was her mother, then she wasn't her mother. Then it turns out Tucker was Catherine's son, and they literally had a supposedly real life psychic come on Young and the Restless. This was back in '08, and she played herself on the show. And she's like, "Yeah, I'm getting a vision that like your son, your child that you left is still alive." And then it turned out it was a boy and it was Tucker, and it was just like it was insulting our intelligence as viewers when they constantly kept. It's okay, Jonathan. It's okay. It was
Now, Nikisha says Summer Newman. So apparently they did that as well. Jack
Oh
Nick.
yeah, Summer Newman. Okay, so Summer Newman, she was Nick's daughter. Then she was Jack's daughter. Then she was Nick's daughter again. Then she might be Jack's daughter. And then it's like, okay, no, she's Nick's daughter. We're gonna leave it here. And that was like a little ping pong they were doing with that. So that was a little ping pong they were doing that too. I hate when shows do that because see with John first we thought he was an Alamein. Then John said he thought his dad's name was Yu Ling. I'm like another person. Like my goodness, like it would have been better if they left him as a Demira and a Brady. That was a perfect combination. But I think they changed it so Brady and Teresa could be together since Teresa is a Brady. So
Oh, Teresa's Brady.
She's a Brady. So her mom is Kimberly Brady. So okay, let me explain the family tree. You have Bo, Kayla, Roman, and then Kimberly. Kimberly is Teresa's mother, which is Bo's sister.
Teresa's mother, that's both sisters. Okay.
This is Bo's sister, and Bo is obviously a. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me remember this. Remember this. Yes, because the thing is, the reason why they had to retcon that because John was the son of Colleen Brady and Santo DeMiro, and Colleen Brady was the sister of Sean. Well, just know the Colleen was a Brady.
Okay.
Colleen was a Brady. Okay, so they had to retcon that out because it's gonna get too confusing if I go down line here. But so they had to retcon that out. But Teresa's mom is Bo Brady and Kayla Brady's sister. So she's basically the sister. Her mom is a sister to Roman, Kayla, and Bo.
Okay.
And she's married to Shane Donovan, which is the whole ISA agent, Mr. Sheffield.
I do remember him. Yes. Okay.
And Eve is also the daughter of Mr. Sheffield, but Eve has a different mother. So Eve is not a Brady, but she's a Donovan. Yeah.
It has, I'm not gonna lie. I barely. I get where. Yeah, I followed that, but it took me a second. Like literally, it felt like it was a delay where it's like, okay, so I got that part. Okay, I got that part. Okay, all right, and now that makes sense. Yo, that's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane. That is.
So like what was weird when Chelsea was in the scene with Sarah and Maggie, it's weird that like because Chelsea slept with Daniel Jonas and she almost had a child with him, who was Maggie's son and Sarah's brother and Victor's godson. And
Yeah.
Chelsea is obviously Victor's granddaughter through Bo, which is what they never mentioned Chelsea for years on the show. And Chelsea didn't even have a scene with Kate, her grandmother. I'm like, damn. So let me explain that. Chelsea's mom is Billy Reed,
Yeah.
who we saw on uh, what was it, Beyond Salem. And Billy
Yep.
had a daughter with Bo, and obviously Billy is the daughter of Kate. So it was, yeah. Philip is her uncle, and so is Lucas. But anyways, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's confused. That's confusing as f.
Like it literally takes like
Holy
I've been watching a new soap. It will take you like 6 months to know where everybody is. Even then, sometimes you gotta go online to Soap Wiki to still find out things.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I mean, usually when I started watching a soap or whatever, I would sit there and go on Wikipedia just to kind of learn their names and stuff. So like that usually used to take a while. But like the family, I feel like the most confusing family tree is Days of Our Lives. Out of all the soap operas I've watched, Days of Our Lives is the most convoluted like family tree where it's just like y'all can go out together. You're not like cousins. You're not blood cousins. Y'all like it's just so weird. And then you think you're talking about they had to retcon this and they had to retcon that. I'm just like
Yeah, because they got the Hortons, and there's like 10,000 of the Hortons, and the Horton
I
family
forgot. I
tree.
totally forgot about the Hortons too.
Yeah, it's just because Eli's a Horton, and the Horton family trees. I think what makes it is what caused everybody to be related. It's that family tree that caused all this mess. To be honest, in my opinion. It's the Horton family tree that caused all that mess. That made everybody like pseudo semi related on the show. Because I'm like, okay, like so that was what caused that, in my opinion.
That's crazy. Have a good night, Nikisha. Have a good night, Laura B. Um, any last words you want to sit there and say? We
Last words. Last words. I know I gotta get ready to get going, but no last words on my end.
I think I'm good as well. But listen, I do want to thank you for coming through though. This is actually a lot of fun. It's been a minute. Honestly, to tell you the truth, I think the last time we did a collab was like at least a couple months ago. I feel like it was a couple months ago.
I think it was too. I think it was too.
I want to thank everyone for joining. Oh my God, it was so good to sit there and see everyone. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for super chats. I will definitely give y'all shout outs and my community tab. Also tonight, um, I'm doing a video about Trina, so that's gonna be a very mixed.
Right
It's
after
not.
this.
Yeah. Well, actually, I already did it, so it's going to be
Okay.
posted. But to be fair, it's not as controversial as my Audra video. So
Sprinter Nation is one of the five families of GH.
yeah,
So just be careful.
that's exactly what I was going to say. I was like, no, it's not as controversial as the Audra video.
Go to the
I
side
did
to get the
one
Sprinter
today.
Nation family.
I did one today. I'm gonna check it out, cat lady. Thank you. But yes, thank you, everyone. Stay safe.
All right,
Yeah,
guys. See you. Okay.
and we'll see you in next videos and live streams.
Bye, guys.
Laters.